Well, well, well. Shabbat shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. Uh-oh, calm down over there. Shabbat shalom, y'all. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, while Yahweh Shai. If you up with me, you know what time it is. It's nighttime. Are your lights on? It's Friday Night Lights. Yeah, we haven't done one in a couple weeks, I believe. So it's that time, man. Hopefully you took your nap. Hopefully you ready. And more importantly, hopefully you wiped your feet before you came in. Um, Let me see you in the chat, man. Shalom to my family, Naamawa and Shaq and the fam. Shalom to my brother Ashar. Anybody else and everybody else who is tuning in and will be tuning in, Shabbat Shalom to you. Don't be afraid to greet the saints. You know what I mean? In the chat. That's scriptural. That's scriptural. So, I'm gonna give a couple more minutes, man. Let everybody come on in. On the scripture say, salute the saints. Shalom to my brother in the quad. What's happening, Ike? Shalom, shalom. Hopefully, y'all dusted off them feet before you came in the door. Just give me 1 second, y'all. We're going to get started in a minute. Yeah, so it's okay to, leave a remark or say shalom in the chat. Let me help y'all out. It's all good. Let me help y'all out. Let's look at this in Philippians 4 and 21. Philippians 4 and 21 says, salute every saint in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. For the Christians, salute every saint in Christ Jesus. If you like it that way, I'll even read it correctly for you, but I'm going to definitely acknowledge his true name. The brethren which are with me greet you. So, when we hop on in here, man, be sure to greet your peoples, man. Greet your peoples, greet your brother, wipe your feet, act like you was raised right, and it's all good. Hey, shalom, Kohath. What's going on, Ike? Shabbat shalom, in fact. All right, let me get rid of this banner, man. Sometimes I be distracting and people be getting caught up on what's being shown. All right, so let's go ahead on and hide that one. Let's get back on track. All right, man. Everybody good? Put a 7 in the chat, man, if y'all made it through hell this week. As you can see, the title, Hell Hath Enlarged Herself. And that's a fact. That is a fact. Hell hath enlarged herself, man. The sands on the hourglass is tipping even more rapidly as we speak. We're going to definitely get into, this these current events, but also we're going to get into a few scriptures just to kind of set the tone. The eternal tabernacle, shalom, shalom, peace, peace. So hell hath enlarged herself, man. It's going down. Esau is having not even secret councils anymore, man. He's in the wide open, having these councils like back to back, man. They just came back from Davos, Switzerland, making moves, making judgments on how they're going to plan on instilling their new world order, instilling their great reset, instilling how they're going to build back better, giving a cold injection, performance enhancing drug to the beast system. And now they're over in Chantilly, Virginia, in DC, continuing talks. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at it. Shalom Aladad. Shalom, Shalom. UZL Shalom. Right? Aren't they though? Aren't they though? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Shalak, what's good, my brother? All right. Without further ado, man, we ain't got time to waste. There's no time to waste. Let's get to it. All right, let's open up with a few scriptures though. We see the scripture that I posted. Well, I quoted, but in fact, it is in the scriptures. Okay. Let's read first. This is the book of Isaiah, Isaiah 5. I'm gonna read verse 13. Okay. It says, "Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge." So clearly we know about Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. That's class A scripture, Israelite 101, for all brothers and sisters to be accustomed to and understand the plight that's happening to our people right now. It's the lack of knowledge, man. Are we getting knowledge out of these damn crack house churches? Heck no. Are we getting it out the mosque? No. They're co-opted with the Church of Scientology now. I mean, how are people supposed to look to them for inspiration? Are they getting it in Kemet? Hell no. I mean, where are our people supposed to be getting knowledge from? They're supposed to be getting it from the prophets and the men of the Lord. The more that we're waking up, the more that we're resurrecting our minds in truth and in spirit and in truth, honoring and worshiping the Father. I mean, this is what it is. But until then, the Lord acknowledged the reason why we went into captivity is because we have no knowledge. It's not because we didn't have college degrees. It's not because we didn't learn how to hustle. We got plenty of that. But we needed the knowledge of truth. We needed the knowledge that the Most High blessed us with. How to live, learn, and apply the law, statutes, and commandments, the dietary laws, the civil laws, the moral laws, ceremonial laws, the sacrificial laws. All of those things is part of our knowledge. This is what made us a wise and understanding people in the sight of the nations in Deuteronomy, the fourth chapter. When we lost that, we went into captivity and remained there until we get the knowledge back. Okay. Reading on, it says, "And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst." So our people are thirsting for knowledge. Our people are thirsting for understanding. Well, the remnant, the chosen, the ones who are waiting to be sealed, they're dried up with thirst. Our nation as a whole really is, because Ezekiel 37 tells us that we're in the valley of the dry bones. But there's only a few that's actually going to drink that water that's coming, in the spirit of righteousness, the wisdom of water. Let me get that in Sirach 15. You know what? Let me open up one more. Let me open up another tab. On the move right now. Let's read this right here. This is what our people are thirsting for and need. Wisdom, Shalaki, Sirach 15 and verse 3. It says, "With the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink." This is what our people need. This is the bread. When you say our prayer, that our Father prayer, give us this day our daily bread. That's the bread of understanding. That's what we're praying for. That's what we need to be nourished with. For far too long, man, our people are completely lost, gone, and confused. We need to really eat solid foods. The microwave generation, all that's over with. The GMO based doctrines that Jake's is out here, scarfing down and still hungry because it has no nourishment in it. That's out of here. We need real bread of understanding. All right. And the water of wisdom to drink. This is why, going back over to Isaiah, the honorable men are famished. So, where's Jesse Jackass at? How about Al Sharp Tongue? Are you still waiting on Cash Flow Dollar to give you, truth? Or how about Greasy Lip TD Jakes or TD Fakes? Our Negroes is out here worshiping Joel Osteen. Farrakhan had his run. He's out of here. I mean, where the honorable men are all famished. You waiting for you waited for Obama? Did that help? How'd that work out? You waited for any more honorable men? Which honorable men you looking for? You waiting for Dr. Umar Johnson to open up that school? I just seen a video. He got caught slipping, man. Look like he was flirting with a white woman, trying to get her number, or he was giving her his number, and she had the phone and she was typing it in. That's speculation. I'm not gonna say the brother did. I don't know for sure. I'm saying what it looked like. Did anybody see that? Anybody see Umar in the mall? Looking like he was getting a little white girl's number. I mean, shameful if it was true. He said he went in there. I think he said he went into the kiosk and uh what did he say? He went to a kiosk and the white woman worked there. And somehow they wound up just chopping it up. Some madness, man. But is that the honorable man? If so, he's definitely famished. Definitely famished. Right? Bayan Shakar, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Mak, to you and the fam. Yashar, my good brother, Shalom, Mak. Shabbat Shalom to you and the fam. Tell Nakai and the brothers, man, I said Shalom. I haven't hollered at the brother in a minute. I know we all ripping and running, living our lives, man. But tell the brother I said Shalom, man, and the rest of the brothers, man. Azrael and the brothers. Um, Let me get back over here, man. Let me get back over here and get back on track. Okay, hold on. I'm exposing a little bit too early. All right. So let me get back over here. So it says the honorable men of famine and their multitude are dried up with thirst. Here's a scripture that I quoted and the reason why we're talking about what we're talking about this evening. Therefore, because all this went down, therefore hell hath enlarged herself. You don't have to wait to go to the center of the earth, waiting for a red devil with a pitchfork and hoofs and a tail and horns sticking up with a match in his hand saying, "Welcome. We've been waiting for you." No, you're in hell right now, Negro. You're in hell right now, Hispanic man, woman, child. Hell has been enlarged, and we're all living it right now because we lack knowledge, because we're now in a position to where we're living off of whatever bones and whatever scraps our oppressors give us, be it physical, be it historical, be it knowledge, be it religious, be it political, be it monetarily. Hey, he gives us all the damn scraps. And we have to learn how to try to survive in it. Now that hell has even opened up and enlarged itself even more. Because as we're going to see, and y'all are probably already witnessing it and living it, the experiences of inflation, gas prices, um, cost of living, famine, right? Bare shelves. I mean, all of this is happening right now. This is why we're seeing hell happening, enlarging itself, being victimized and targeted in these streets by not only the police, but white supremacists are on the loose. They got the wind up doll, Manchurian Candidate type shooters and copycat shooters running wild right now over the last 2 weeks. It's like every other day you're hearing about some mass shooting or some shooting that happened in a public setting, and the Democrats is licking their lips, and the white man is licking his lips saying, "Good job, my good and faithful servants." Now we can politicize this. We can capitalize off death. We can make more money off death. We can impose new laws and new mandates and new restrictions to help us maintain the lock and the keys of the gates of hell for you niggas to stay locked into because you scared and you saying, "White man, help us." Hegelian dialectic. Y'all look that up. Y'all might say, "How do you spell that?" Let me help you out. Some of y'all have heard of this. I brought this up and shared it years ago. Um, let's just look at this. The main objective is like you see here. This is how the white man operates, man. Psychological warfare, man. Whipping our people into shape, wearing out the saints mentally and physically, doing the okey doke, man, and the no look passes, hitting us upside the head with the ball because we wasn't ready. Problem, reaction, solution, man. He creates a problem in order to incite a reaction, and then he says, "Hey, I have the solution. Trust me." He's in full control of everything that's going on. Didn't he say in Job 9:24, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked? Absolutely. So he controls all narratives. So here you go. Hegelian dialectic. The Hegelian dialectic is where the ruling elite create a problem anticipating in advance the reaction of the population to the crisis. Did you hear that? They create a problem anticipating in advance the reaction of the population to the crisis. Case in point, we talked about Operation Northwoods before, haven't we? In Operation Northwoods, that was declassified documents now from the 60s where they were talking about doing quote unquote terrorist acts here on American soil and blaming it on the Cubans so that they can incite war with the Cubans because of the Cuban Missile Crisis and because of the Cold War that they was having with the Russians. They were looking for a reason to start a war with Cuba, and they were going to do everything from shootings to bombings of their own people and sacrificing their own troops in the name of the Great Whore, Mystery Babylon the Great, in order to maintain their power position in the earth. You know what they call that? Collateral damage. So far be it from anybody to think that these shootings that are happening and being highly publicized now, and now they're being politicized and they're being used as a method in order to change everybody's mind frames, in order to change how people are willing to sacrifice their quote unquote freedoms in order to be furtherly oppressed. I mean, does that make sense? But they have to do that. So it says they will create a problem anticipating in advance the reaction of the population to the crisis and thus conditioning the people to call for change. When the population is properly conditioned, the desired agenda of the ruling elite is presented as a solution. The solution they present is not intended to solve the problem, hello, but to serve as the basis for a new problem or exacerbate the existing one. When the newly created problem reaches a boiling point, it becomes the foundation for the people to clamor for change again. This process is repeated over and over all the time, moving society towards whatever endpoint they have in mind. Problem, reaction, solution. That's just a small meme that you can find out. But y'all do more of your own research on that, man. You get more into the understanding of the mind frame, of the elite and how Esau's thinking and moving, right? So getting back to Isaiah, it says, "So therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure." I mean, it's endless how many people are going to fall, die, and get swallowed up in this hell pit that's been created, manufactured, and also established by the sins of Israel. Esau just capitalized on that and continually, further stepping on our necks, literally and figuratively, to maintain control. So now we're seeing as hell is getting turned up, it's enlarging itself without measure. Many people are going to be sucked into this and are being sucked into it as we speak. And their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into it. He that rejoices, the pompous nature, the arrogancy, the people that want to hold on to America, waving his white flag, man, praying for peace, praying, for Ukraine, involving yourself in the political structures that only furtherly, exacerbate Esau's rule. I mean, you have to really think about it. I meditated on this not too long earlier this week. And I'm sitting back saying, damn, okay, I got 401k, I got, and that's involved in the stock market and crypto, all that crap, right? And I'm saying, do I really, should I be thinking about how to establish and capitalize on trying to make more money or reinvesting or taking get out of there, take my losses and bounce or what, you know what I'm saying? Because really, when you really reinvesting and you really trying to establish and do more, I'm not doing none of that. To keep it real with you, I got it, but I'm not adding no more. I'm not adding no money. I'm collecting my chips when I can and getting out. Because furtherly, I mean, at the end of the day, if you still trying to prop up the stock market and trying to save this damn place, you damn near are like co-conspirators and collaborators with the damn beast. That's how I see it. Others may see it differently. I don't know. But you have to have a contingency plan. You got to be, scriptures say, man, money answereth all things, so forth and so on. We get it. I understand it. But there's a point to where you have to really understand and wonder whether or not that same concept helps prop up and keep hell enlarging itself against our people and keeping a further power base for the beast. Because that's what they doing. They still sit back and I'll be watching a couple of these jakes, man, that offer their little stock knowledge and all that other stuff just to kind of get a little game and see what they be talking about. I mean, these cats still be trusting in America. They still trying to master the system. They still trying to chase Esau's tail, trying to figure out what's he doing, and then coming back relaying information to us. And really, it all is just continually propping up this paper tiger known as America and Babylon, man. Being a partaker of the hope of Babylon's existence. We read that in Second Ezra 15, where it said, man, Asia, the Moab is going to be destroyed for doing that. So think about it. You understand? Let's go to Micah. Micah. Micah 6. Excuse me. What did I say 6? Yeah. Micah 6, and let's read 9. Uh and let this be a lesson, because initially, the Most High is acknowledging and showing uh and talking about how he's going to plead with Israel. So this is a message for Israel, right? But the principle remains for all nations, right? Because here it says, "Hear ye, O mountains, the Lord's controversy, and ye strong foundations of the earth." The Most High metaphorically calls the nations mountains and hills. In Jeremiah, I think it's in Jeremiah 3. Um, hold on, yeah, Jeremiah 3. That's it. See, Jeremiah 3 says, "Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel." So he's making what's known as a similitude, speaking about salvation from the hills and from the multitude of mountains, speaking about the greater and the smaller nations of the earth, the heathen, right? Because why is the Most High acknowledging an actual people in comparison to mountains and hills? Do you understand? So when the Most High acknowledges those things, He's showing us that salvation is for Israel only, man. In vain, the nations are out here hoping and praying that they're going to be included in the salvation of Israel. That's out of here, right? So getting back over here to Micah, so it says in Micah chapter 6 and 2, it says, "Hear ye, O mountains, the Lord's controversy, and ye strong foundations of the earth. For the Lord hath a controversy with his people, and he will plead with Israel." So this is the time when the Most High had an issue, with the children of Israel. But look at this verse 1. It says, "Hear ye now what the Lord saith, arise, contend now before the mountains, and let the hills hear thy voice." So they're going to be witnesses, and they're going to understand how Israel's judgment works, and the same thing is going to fall upon them. How do we know that? That also the nations is going to Jeremiah 2. How do we know the nations are going to be before? Because the Most High establishes the judgments. He don't need to change them. It can affect us. It can affect the nations. But remember, the nations went above and beyond the call of duty, and that's why the Most High said, "Reward her double, even as he has rewarded thee." They're going to get it twice as bad. Jeremiah 2:33 says, "Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore thou therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways." See, when Israel goes all the way left, when Israel acts up, man, we can either be the best of the best or the worst of the worst. He said, man, we even taught the wicked one thy ways, man. Esau them picked up on some of our errors and evils. Okay, let's drop down. Let's read verse 9. Look at this. Back to Micah 6 and 9. It says, "The Lord's voice crieth unto the city, and the man of wisdom shall see thy name. Hear ye the rod, and who hath appointed it? Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked?" Oh, hold on. Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked? Well, what's the treasures that's here in America? The dollar, the crypto, the stocks, the housing market, everything else. Treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked. That's where he establishes his treasures, man. The gold, the silver, everything else, man. The precious metal. I'm not discouraging nobody because, like I said, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I for some time now and years, and just through my slave job and all of that, you get 401ks and stock understandings and portfolios. I'm not gonna sit up here in front like I don't have knowledge or am involved in any of this stuff. I don't trust in it. I don't do anything outside of maintain myself as a pilgrim, man. And if Most High bless me one way with it, okay, cool. But I'm not actively trading and doing all kind of madness. No, no, because what Yahweh Shah say? He said, "Don't put your trust in what's he say? Put your trust in riches." He said, "Because where dust and moth doth corrupt." Uh, I'm going off the beaten path a little bit, y'all. Hold on, give me. I think it's in Matthew 6. Yeah, there you go. You see that? It said, "But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal." That's where my investments really are. That's where my investments really are, man. And I suggest everybody else do the same. You feel me? Because this whole place is going down in smoke, as we read and went over this past Wednesday on that hump day, right? So we got to be aware and we got to understand what he's talking about. Let's go back over here and back to Micah. So it says, verse 10, it says, "Are there yet the treasures of the wickedness of treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked, and the scant measure that is abominable?" The scant measure. Because what the most I'd say in Proverbs 11? Scant measure, man. He's skimming off the top, man. He's playing games. Look at this. Proverbs 11 and 1. "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight." So we know Esau, man, tipping the scales, flickering with the economy. He's shutting and turning off different forms of energy, power, gas. He's manipulating the whole system. Ultimately, we know he wants a cashless society. He wants to be able to track and monitor everything that you do. He wants everybody lined up on a carbon credit system. He wants everybody, in the damn metaverse, locked in the house, working for credits on with the damn Google goggles on, living in a whole nother damn reality in small microwave, micro apartments and whatnot, under full monitored control, where he can track your carbon footprints, man. Tell you what you can and can't drive. Gas cars is going to be up out of here. Electric cars only if you can afford them. If you can't, you're going to be on public transportation. You understand? We just got to talking about I think it was last week, where many of the insurance companies in Florida are going belly up for people's homes, and they're trying to get everybody to, uh, monopolize into utilizing certain insurance companies that can capitalize off of the highest rates. So imagine that you can't get your old mom and pop insurance company you had for years. They're out of business. Now you got to sit back and you got to rely on some other big conglomerate that's going to juice you dry. And then here comes the government talking about we're going to have to increase your property taxes. Hopefully you can afford the increase. Oh, on top of your mortgage and everything else. Before you know it, man, you can't pay. You belly up. You default. Bank swoops in. Oops, got another home. Got some more land. Oh, you can't afford. We got subsidized government housing available for you. Oh, but you're going to need to make sure that you've got your immunization record up to date. You're going to have to make sure that you're prepared to eat the food rations that all employees. I mean, all government sponsored citizens have to abide by. You understand that that's the future and what he's trying to establish. And if you see the pattern of how it's going, he's trying to break down everybody. Everybody's getting broke down right now. We'll see as we continue on. Let's finish this up. Okay. Shall I count them with pure hold on. Let me read 10 again. Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked? Yeah, absolutely. There's treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked. Manipulating of currencies and riches and all of that. And the scant measure that is abominable. Most High said that's about what he just saying in Proverbs. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So when he's out here tricking the scales and tricking the economies and doing um all these damn interest rate fixtures and market corrections and playing games with the stock market. That's why you see the charts going up and down and there's patterns. And these people that be doing day trade and they pick up on the game and they say, okay, I see how this thing is going. I know how to ride the wave now because it's a consistent thing that the so-called white man does. And now he's getting ready to flip all of that and put everybody on their ass. That's how hell is going to enlarge itself. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. A just weight. Equity in moving in fairness. I think I pulled up some weeks ago. It said there was a study that said in order for the way or in order for the wealth gap between the so-called black man and the white man to be equal, it's going to take like 200 years in order for us to get on par with where he's at. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can pull up something real quick on that. Look, okay, straight off the top. CNN Money. Do you understand? This is what the so-called white man is doing. There is no catching up. You know, they just talk about LeBron James just became the first or just became a billionaire now. So what? How does that affect and how has that impacted the so-called black community? How has that impacted the so-called Hispanic community? How has that impacted the reservations who still living over there in squalor? You know, they let a few little worms, creep through the grounds of hell, but that doesn't mean anything on the grand scheme of things. And I'm not taking away from any charitable work LeBron does. I don't know what he does. But the fact remains is that regardless of how many Will Smiths, Chris Rocks, LeBron James, Shaq O'Neal, Denzel, so forth and so on, man. What's the cat that used to own BET? I mean, it doesn't matter. This fact still remains. Blacks will take hundreds of years to catch up to white wealth. Hundreds. And the white man's talking about how much, these $100 million contracts Jake's is signing. That still does not take up for the fact that this still remains. Look, Kanye's a billionaire, Dr. Dre's a billionaire. Um, we just said LeBron's a billionaire, Rihanna's a billionaire, Jay-Z and Beyonce. And it still would take hundreds of years for us to play catch up. Why is that happening? Because back to Micah, the so-called white man is scammed with the measures that's abominable. He's tipping the scales. There's never going to be an equality on them scales, man. Look at this. Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances and with the bag of deceitful weights? Can you count them pure? With wicked balances and with deceitful weights? Of course not. Look, verse 12. For the rich men thereof are full of violence. How does he back up? How does he save? How does he preserve his kingdom? How does he preserve these wicked balances and weights? You can put your money in the bank, man, and they giving you 0.00 whatever interest rate, and they're talking about the savings accounts that you can establish. You ain't making no money off of that. A few pennies a year. And he's charging high interest rates on credit cards and home loans with your money that's sitting in the bank, collecting. And then how's he back it up? He's got police out, SWAT teams on deck, special forces with the logo on the cars that say to protect and serve. Well, who are they protecting? Who are they serving? It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. It says, "For the rich men thereof are full of violence." Well, how did the so-called white man establish America? How did he establish the conquerings of the South and Central America, Canada, the Caribbean islands? To establish his riches, full of violence. We know the history. Read on, it says, "And the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies." I mean, how many times have we caught slow Biden in a lie? How many times have we caught Obama in a lie? And here they are running around talking about gun control when Obama had a whole scandal about Fast and Furious of them selling guns to the cartels in Mexico. Facts. But they're talking about, oh, we need to take your gun. But meanwhile, they're not going to take the guns of the bodyguards. They're not going to take the guns of the Secret Service, are they? No, they can still have all their weapons and their protection. They can have the armed guards around their homes. Oh, but you can't. You can't protect your family. See, the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies. Has anybody heard any more about that little $400 gas card here in California? As gas is going up all the way in some places almost to $10. I'm gonna show you on in a minute. Any word on that? What happened to all those millions of reserves that Slow Biden said he's going to be emptying out the reserves for the oil over there here in America to ease up the prices on the gas, and gas is higher than it's ever been. Where's that at? Don't don't get me started. And the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. Need we say any more? Need we say any more? Look at this. Proverbs 20, and let's read 23. Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good. I mean, this is the same thing that this is how the so-called white man maintains a competitive edge. Is because he sets the scales. And they're tricked. It's almost like you playing with loaded dice, weighted dice that you always shaking, and every 4 out of 5, rolls, you roll in a 7 or an 11. And then that fifth roll, you probably gonna roll and crap out or whatever. Just like when you going to gambling in Vegas and in Atlantic City or wherever, or Morongo Casino out here in California, the house always wins. You may get a little bit, and that's just to keep you sitting down. But when you leave, you leaving a loser. 9 times out of 10. That's how he works. Let's look at this other scripture. Baruch, third chapter. This is the life we live. Baruch 3 and 8. It says, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity." Yet this day. Still in captivity. Anybody that doesn't believe it, doesn't, buy into the fact that we're in captivity, man. If you're in captivity, you are being held to not be able to freely move and operate how you want to. You have an oppressor, you have an overseer. You can't, don't have the liberation of accumulating or having a wealth gap. Look, this is captivity. Blacks should take 100 years to catch up to white. That's captivity. That's the results of captivity. That's the results of systematic racism. That's the results of, false ideologies and religious dogma, getting shoved down our throats, denominational religions. That's how he remains with this unbalanced edge. And then has, these talking head Negroes out here with their urban apologetics trying to convince people to say, no, no, the Israelites are lying. They're not the true Jew. They're manipulating the scriptures. Oh no, we're not the children of God. We're the Gentiles. Oh, we're all going to go to heaven together. Oh, keeping the laws is of no consequence. What about the white man? You hear all of that. Those demons is already out there motivated and moving to keep our people destroyed and in captivity because of the lack of knowledge. Verse 8 again, it says, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments." How's your grocery bill looking right now? When's the last time you had a full tank of gas? Huh? Have you had to make a sacrifice to keep the lights on and and trimming off of, another particular bill to keep it going? But I'll tell you one thing, man. The Negro, we're so locked into technology. One thing you will make sure that you pay is that phone bill. You're gonna stay locked into that matrix. He knows what he's doing. And to be subject to payments. So here we are being subject to oppressive payments. And they're only escalating, they're only getting higher. The cost of living is crazy right now in many places. There's no rest haven, there's no safe haven to run to and say, oh, over here, we're balling over here. Yeah, yeah, right. With the monopoly money in your pockets, man. You see these Negroes all on their damn videos, flashing their little money and all that stuff. When all that ain't worth nothing in the first place. And it's all gonna be gone pretty soon. And I showed y'all before, much of that is prop money. You can go buy a stack of 100,000s for like 20 bucks on Amazon. Faking it till they make it. But one thing for sure, two things for certain. The Lord said we're going to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. See, that's a life that is enlarging itself and getting worse and worse as we speak. Let's look at this couple more scriptures, and then we're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to these current events, y'all. Y'all all right? Hopefully, y'all took your naps and you up going in tonight. As soon as I can learn how to spell Psalms. All right, here we go. Okay, let's start at Psalm 17. We're gonna read one and we're gonna read down. It says, a prayer of David, hear the right, O Lord, attend unto my cry, give ear unto my prayer that goeth out of feigned lips. This is a prayer to remember in the times that we're in right now, man, looking for substance and sustainability through the Lord. Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are equal. Thou hast proved my heart. Thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me and shalt find nothing. I am proposed that my mouth shall not transgress. Concerning the works of men, by the word of thy lips, I have kept me from the paths of the destroyer. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not. You gotta make sure, man. I did a DSTM, I think last year, about staying 10 toes down, standing on your square, staying focused and staying solidified in your faith and in your walk. See, trying not to slip. Reading verse 6, it says, I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God. Incline thine ear unto me and hear my speech. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by the right hand, them which put their trust in thee from those that rise up against them. They're rising up against us. I'm going to show y'all in a minute. Show y'all in a minute. Keep me as the apple of thy eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Verse 9, check this out. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. They're in secret and in open councils, enclosed in their own fatness and their own pompousness. They're out here judging and making decisions about how your lives and my lives are going to play out in the near future. They're planning and plotting for this NWO order, right? They're talking about great resets. They got a whole agenda of things that they're talking about, and I got the list right here. They're enclosed in their fat. It says, with their mouth they speak proudly. Look in Psalms 49, it says their inward thought is that their houses will continue forever. White man don't think he's gonna be stopped. He don't think there's gonna be an end to Babylon the Great, man. He thinks this great whore, that's out here shaking her cheeks for the known world. He thinks she's not gonna get old. Things start get to sagging. Gravity take into effect. You get that little flat tire. Oh yeah, the hose, she's useless eventually. That's what's happening to America right now, man. She's getting a little long in the tooth. She ain't got it like she used to. Now you see these other little nations popping up. You know, China and Russia, and they saying, man, hey, the old hoes, she ain't got it like she used to, man. Maybe we can be the new things on the block. No, the only new thing popping up, man, is Israel and the kingdom of Hamashiach Yahushua. All right, they are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth, they speak proudly. Uh, Verse 11 says, "They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Set their eyes bowing down to the earth." They're looking down on the rest of the earth, deciding on what's going to happen. Verse 12, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey. The white man can't have enough. And as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Them little young lions, man, learning how to hunt the tall shrubbery, out in the Serengeti and all of that, looking to catch some little young antelope or gazelle or whatnot, wildebeest, trying to get them. Same thing that they're doing, man, in these secret councils, chopping it up, talking about how and what they're going to do to devour more prey and maintain their stronghold on the earth. One more scripture. One more scripture. You're still talking about them hiding. Jeremiah 49:10. About them hiding. It says, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places." See, he used to be able to have these meetings in secret. Now he's just out in the open. Well, remember, in Thessalonians, it said that the man of perdition is going to be revealed. Man, Esau's going to come out and just bottom line say, "Man, look, I'm the wicked. I'm dictating policy. Yes, I'm behind all of the damn madness that's going on between the pandemics, between the wars, between the famine, between the pestilence, between the shootings, between the unjust laws that's being passed." I mean, hey, he's gonna say, "Man, yeah, it's me. And what? What are you gonna do about it? Besides bow down and beg me for more?" But the Lord said, once he's exposed, is on. "I made Esau bare. I've uncovered his secret places, and he should not be able to hide himself." He can't hide himself under different identities anymore. He's been shown and proven that exactly who he is, a devil that the Bible speaks of. Right? You can't talk about, "Oh no, I'm French, I'm Ukrainian, I'm Russian, I'm Yugoslavian, I'm Swedish. No, I'm a redneck from Alabama. I don't have no connection. No, I'm Irish." That's over with. Don't be trying to. You can't front like you're all these other people, and only people we can point to. Because that's the next thing too. Even now, some of these so-called white folks out here are realizing how wicked their people are. They're trying to include themselves in the struggle. Oh, they're anti-government now. They're anti this, that, and the third. They're anti-establishment. They're anti and the New World Order and all this other stuff. Because some of them are going to realize, hey, they're casualties of war as well. You got to think about it. Why do they have something called white trash? Trailer park trash. Why is it classified as white trash? Do you understand? Why does white have to be identified first and then say, "Oh, that's the trash of the white people"? That means all the rest of them is doing well. Those are the ones who got left out, so that we can't say all you white folks is rich. They're gonna say, "No, you been to Skid Row lately? You been over to Warren or 8 Mile where Eminem is from? Oh, have you seen the Appalachian inbred cats over there in West Virginia?" You dig what I'm saying? That's the mind games that he plays. But no, they're all inclusive when it all comes down to judgment. Don't fall for them out here. "I'm with you, brother." Yeah, man, the government is with. I mean, it's beyond government, man. It's still they people calling us. It's not me. You can't hide yourself, man. Reading on, it says, "Is his seed is spoiled and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." So we know his seed is spoiled, man. We know that the birth rates of the so-called white man, they're dying faster than the populating. This is the reason why they're out here running around here trying to establish depopulation agenda, so forth and so on. All right, let's look at this real quick. In case y'all wondering, you see over here, the logo might be in the way. Let me see. Let me make sure. But you see there, it says Bilderberg meeting. Bilderberg is one of the established foundational headships of the so-called white man when they're establishing their meetings for New World Order regime, understanding changes, so forth and so on, man. This is what a global elites means. It's called the Bilderberg meetings for anybody that doesn't know, right? Now, you see in the right hand corner, it says this is their official website. You see it up here, Bilderberg meetings.org. And I clicked on the tab that says their meetings in 2022. So from May 3rd, May 30th to June 2nd, um, in 2019, they met in Switzerland. 2018, they're in Italy. Uh, oh shoot, I'm on the wrong year. Hold on. Meeting in 2022. Here we go. So look at this. This is the 68th Bilderberg meeting to take place from the 2nd to the 5th of June. So they just start coming together, powwowing. And guess where they're meeting? Oh, in Washington. Think Slow Biden is going to be there? Of course. He's the puppet. You know, they got to grease up their palms, man, to make sure they ram it up his. Is it Friday Night Lights? Are the kids sleep? Before I go further. Okay. So this is where they're meeting, but let's look at what they're going to talk about. Let's see what they're talking about over these next 3 days. Well, what is it? Second, third, fourth, fifth, 4 days. The key topics for discussion this year are what? Geopolitical realignments. Oh, so we're talking regime changes. We're talking about geopolitical posturings throughout the earth. How they got look challenges NATO is going to be facing. Esau said we got to talk about China. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna deal with Moab, man. He's getting out of pocket, man. He's starting to swell up. The Indo-Pacific realignment. Oh, we gotta talk about Russia. We gotta, figure out how we're gonna continually manipulate this war. Continuity of government and the economy. But look at it. Disruption of the global financial system. They're gonna meet about that. How they're going to disrupt the global finance. Still think there's futures in the money? Okay. Guess who else they're going to be coming down on? Disinformation. Also expect, all of the platforms that we all use to maybe have some new regulations and things change up to cut down on the disinformation. They're on to us. We need to change the speech pattern. We need to change. You dig what I'm saying? So disruption of the global financial system they're going to talk about. Disinformation they want to talk about. Energy security and sustainability. I'm going to share something with y'all about this in a minute. Energy security and sustainability. Post-pandemic health. Fragmentation of the democratic society. Oh, fragmentation. Oh, they're having problems amongst the democratic societies. They're being fragmented. They're being broken up. Oh, and we're going to talk about the Ukraine. 14 topics they're going to talk about in 4 days. The highlighted ones is what we need to be more concerned about. You understand? If you want to be concerned about it. But when you're looking at things like this, right? Disruption of the global financial system. I've been warning and telling people about, at least giving people heads up about Venezuela, and this is that being the blueprint of what's going to happen with America, right? If you know or knew anything about what's happening over there in Venezuela, I gave everybody a reference to watch a movie called South of the Border. Some of y'all watched it. It's a documentary by Oliver Stone, right? And it shows you how the International Monetary Fund, man, Esau, white man, goes to these third world countries, offers them loans for sustainability at high interest rates in exchange for, colonization, in exchange for regime changes and then putting in their own puppet leaders. Um, and in turn, when certain of these countries finally decided, man, I don't want any more of the wine and the wrath of the fornication of the great whore, man, we're paying you off and get the hell out. They ended up being penalized, such as Venezuela. When you had Hugo Chavez that was down there ruling, they used the media to demonize that cat. They utilized you know, uh they tried to do assassinations and try to get him up out of there to do a regime change. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff going on, man. Watch that, right? But anyway, once they paid them off, man, they operated on a socialist system. Socialist system is pretty much everything government owned. The government pretty much, you'll get free healthcare, free education. Long as you're working for the government and everything else, they take care of everything. Well, what happens when that economy gets cut off and your money, and now you're starting to deal with, see, because once they broke away from the IMF and stopped dealing with Esau in America, sanctions start coming down. They start getting cut off. Venezuela's are rich in oil and resources and all this other stuff. They was flourishing in all these things and able to trade and utilize it. Once Esau says, "Hey, Venezuela's dead on that. We're cutting them off. They nobody mess with them no more." So they had, try to sustain themselves on their own economy for as long as they could. When the import and export business went out of style for them, they was printing up money, which caused heavy inflation, and the bolivars is pretty much worthless now, right? So just look at this real quick. It says the reality of wages in Venezuela. Esperanza lives in Alta Vista in Catia. She has a degree in education and works as a preschool teacher. She has a husband and two children, and her salary is 20 million bolivars. Sound like a lot? 20 million. But what is that? Which is about $7 a month. And that's real talk. I watched this brother that he got like a travel channel. He went to Venezuela and did like a documentary, and they had he interviewed the sister and her mother and all that. The mother worked for the Department of Education. She makes $20 a month. $20 a month working for the government. He said, "Man, how do you survive off of that?" She said, "Well, you gotta ration out and buy only things that's necessary." They have rolling blackouts. They're rationing energy and power out there. They have blackout. I think they have power for, I can't remember if they have a 3 hour blackout period where they have no power for 3 hours, or they only have power for 3 hours. I can't remember. But most of Venezuela and the states down there are dealing with that particular situation. There's still the haves and the have nots. But as you can imagine, most of the country is the have nots. They're operating. They had a water shortage down there. They went 50 some odd days without water. Hot water, good luck. So they're rationing water. They're rationing power. She made $20 a month. There's another cat that he interviewed. He was making $3 a month. $3 a month as an interpreter and hustling and doing whatever he can. A month, not an hour. So as you see here, then you see what's happening here. Inflation out of control. Food prices out of control. Gas prices out of control. They're talking about the blackouts happening this summer and continuing to happen. Just watch. That's why I said hell hath enlarged herself. 20 million bolivars, which is about $7 a month. It is enough to buy a kilo of cheese and a carton of eggs. That's for the month. Excuse me. When the pandemic ends and an on-site classes return, the cost of going to work will be similar to her salary. So this was an article from 2021. But it ain't nothing changed. Like Esperanza, millions of salaried Venezuelans have seen in a few years how their salary has been reduced to an almost testimonial value. Most formal jobs in Venezuela are anchored to a scale that depends on the minimum wage, but not only in Venezuela, the minimum wage is almost universal in most countries have established it together with 8-hour working days. It is part of the legacy of more than the country's a century of worker struggles. So I'm just bringing that out as a point, right? So so you can imagine why they're escaping, why they're leaving, and they're going to Colombia, they're going to Peru, they're going to trying to come to America, and then they had the testimony too. One of the ladies said one of her friends made it over here illegally, right? Her and her, I think she said her and her husband, they all made it over here. But what they came to realize is the grass ain't always greener over here in America. She said because of her status, she gets taken advantage of, she gets overworked, underpaid, and then they come to realize how expensive it is to live over here in Babylon. So they don't really get the money. They thinking, oh, we're gonna come over here, we're gonna, as long as we hustle, we're gonna get this money so we can send it back home. They barely got money to send home because it's how much they gotta pay to live here. That's a deception of thinking, oh, once you make it over here to America, all your dreams are gonna come true. Not necessarily. In many cases. That's why you see our 10 tribe brothers and sisters, man, hustling and working so hard, man, working 2 and 3 jobs because they realize that, oh, I heard once you come to America, I get one job, I'm making $15 an hour. That's more than I was making in a month. Once I'm gonna be balling once I get over. Oh, maybe not. Because you're making $15 an hour, but your rent, depending on where you live, oh, $800-900. You can't even pay rent with one check. Oh, so guess what? You're going to have to get another job. Oh, and then what about your family that you still got to send money back to? See how that works? Not as easy as they thought. So imagine that. Imagine that. Okay. Let me see. What am I missing in the chat, man? What am I missing? Let me catch up with y'all real quick. Mm-hmm. That's a good point right there. That's right. That's exactly right. That's all they need to instill. That's right. All right. Look like we good. Look like we good. Shalom to everybody that's jumping in, jumping in. All right. If I miss you, Sister Renee, Manaf, what's up? Shalom, Shabbat Shalom to y'all. All right, so this is the reality. Now imagine this is the route because look, when you're talking about universal basic income, that's the same thing that America's trying to push. No, remember that they aren't they pushing that in various states, especially here in California. I think up north they're giving out $500 and $1,000 little stipends, telling you use it however you want, and it's like a 3-year program. They had one here in LA. They was giving out I think to 1,000 people if you qualified and all this other madness. They were giving out I forgot what they called it. But they was giving out I think $1,000 a month or something like that. And then you see what's happening with the inflation and the value of the dollar. Well, all that stimulus, all that money they was printing it all up. So what ends up happening? The inflation rate goes up, the value of the dollar drops down. Everybody still, stays in slavery. White man lives off of as long as you owe me, I'll never be broke. He's the master of debt. He's over $30 trillion in debt. Is it at 30? Hold on. Let's see where's he at. Where's he at? This is we're gonna take. Look, 30 trillion. There you go. And we're gonna take U.S. national debt, $30 trillion, almost 30.5 trillion per citizen, $91,000. So we're taking the advice of him on how to maintain a, a financial portfolio. He can't even manage his own money, but he's gonna tell you how to do it, huh? So when you see the universal basic incomes, when they want to put everybody on one particular stipend, man, that you're gonna have to qualify to get, you gotta be in full submission of the beast to get your little debit card or to get your app turned on your phone. So you can have the facial recognition or the biometrics using your thumbprint to open up your phone. All of that. That's the goal, right? So when you see this, I suggest y'all go back, man. Check out what's going down out here in Venezuela, or out there in Venezuela, I should say, and you can kind of see where the path is leading for America. Just look up the gas. Hold on, see, because it's unbelievable. It's a country rich in gas, right? This is a country rich in gas. Do you see this? This is minimum. This is how people get. You get a number put on your car, and it's a rotational system because they ration out the gas. And these lines, it can take you 3 to 4 hours and even a day to wait in line to get your gas. People sleeping in their cars, they waiting their turn, driving up, people hanging out. This is a gas line. This ain't, some block party where Jake's is out here kicking it. See, when gas becomes too expensive and too out of control, as we're seeing right now, then when the government puts price controls on it and says, "Look, here's the price," but all of the gas is under government control. Oh, you're gonna wait in line. So people get in line, they gotta go, fill up, and then you gotta wait your turn until you can come back again. So you can forget about Uber Eats and DoorDash and you know, what's some other ones? Uh, Whatever the other little cab services are, Uber and all that. I mean, that they ain't even making no money with doing that right now. The cost of gas, they're barely making money. So let's go here. Let's get to it. You see a few. All right. So, we covered in with these shootings. We covered in with the violence that's going on. Few more that's happened of recent. Just a couple days ago. Okay. Four killed in the shooting in the Tulsa Medical building. The shooter's dead. I'm sure y'all heard about that. This is a Jake too. Wondering how where they getting these Manchurian Candidate Jakes from, man. So the Jake went in looking for a doctor that botched his back surgery, looking for revenge. Went up into the medical building, shot three people, and then turned the gun on himself. Of course, in the midst of all these other mass shootings, first people popping out is the damn Democrats and slow Biden. Every time somebody, like I said, where was all the outrage when Jason's getting killed in Chicago? Where's the outrage at when Jason's getting killed in Atlanta and L.A., New York? Why are they not motivated for those? Because our lives don't matter, despite what the Black Lives Matter and the rest of them damn LGBTQHIV operated movements are talking about. Four killed in the shooting in the Tulsa Medical building. The shooter's dead. A gunman carrying a rifle and a handgun killed four people Wednesday at a Tulsa Medical building on a hospital campus, police said. The latest in a series of deadly mass shootings across the country in recent weeks. Is this coincidental, or does this sound like a Hegelian dialectic? You tell me. Tulsa Police Department Deputy Chief Eric Dalgleish confirmed the number of dead and said the shooter also was dead, apparently from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. That's one thing too, man. These guys go in there, man, wind up dolls, shoot up some people, then kill themselves. Sound like something straight out of damn uh, what's the name of that? MK Ultra. Except for the Edomite over there in Buffalo, who we're not even hearing about anymore. Not even hearing about him anymore. 18-year-old, what was he, 19? 19-year-old Edomite man runs up in the store, kills 10 of our people, elderly, and we're not hearing nothing about him no more. All the other shooting, they all take precedence, man. Why is he getting that type of treatment? You know why. Let's move on. Tulsa gunman angry over pain after back surgery, police say. So that was his motivation. Somehow they found that out, even though he's dead. Somehow they figured it's because of a botched back surgery. Where they got that near, I don't know. A man who blamed his doctor for pain after back surgery last month bought guns in recent days before storming into a Tulsa medical building, killing four people than himself. Police said. Michael Lewis, 45. So this was a Jake man. How they must have conjured him up from the dead and said, "Why'd you do it?" And he said, "Oh, because man, the damn surgery, he jacked my back up." Where they got that, I don't know. I don't know. Just strange to me. But anyway, let's move on. Oh, two women are killed at a church in Iowa. Oh, the churches ain't safe no more, huh? Isn't this the second shooting in a church in the last couple weeks? Yeah, the Asian man over there in Orange County went and killed one person in the Taiwanese church and then himself. Ironically, again, now you got two women that killed at a church in Iowa hours after shooting near Milwaukee. Yeah, they had I think five people got killed and shot at a funeral service. So two more shootings occurred across the U.S. on Thursday, one deadly in Iowa, adding to a national toll of carnage, even as President Slow Biden addressed the nation and called on Congress to take action to curb firearm violence across the country. Slow Biden to the rescue, huh? As this continues on. So here he goes. I mean, can you listen to anything that comes out this dude's mouth? Enough, enough. Well, we know what he's operating on. We know why he's pushing this agenda. We know why he's being puppeteered. I think the brother put it in the chat talking about you strip an armed public, and if they don't like it, you institute martial law. Once it's done, here goes martial law, official lockdowns. You know, this guy is trying to capitalize on this only to push an agenda, man. They've been coming, they've been trying to compromise the Second Amendment to disarm the public every chance they get. And here they go again. They tried over there with the Parkland shooting in Florida. They tried with the shooter over there in the Vegas concert. They tried with the what's the one over there in man, what's the dude, Adam Lanza, the little Edomite with the other elementary school. What's the name of that place? Uh Help me out, y'all. I hate drawing a blank. Um Dang, what's the name of that? All right, now I gotta look it up. I can remember his name, but I can't remember. Dang, it's still. See, look at this little bugged out Edomite, man. If you see the, no, hold on. See, look at his eyes. This is the guy this the kid in did the shooting over there in Connecticut. Sandy Hook, Sandy Hook. There we go. Now let's look at the brother. What was his name again? Hold on, Lewis. Uh, Dang, what was his name? Hold on, y'all. Shalaki. Michael Lewis. Okay. Where's he at? Look, look how bugged out he look. I guess this was a previous arrest or some you know uh mugshot he got, but the dude is possessed, man. Hyped up on something already. Look at him, right? Anything look familiar? Anything look familiar? Here's another one. They don't say, oh, he maybe he got thyroid problem. No, no. Look at these cats, man. And you tell me they're not being utilized? Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone because we see that the Bilderbergs are talking about meeting up about disinformation. But you can see, and I can see, and Stevie Wonder just texted me and said he's seen it too. So let's move on. So slow Biden is out here already chanting and marching for tougher gun laws. You just seen on Hump Day, he's talking about no reason why you should have a 9 millimeter. Uh, before that he was talking about AR-15s. Now it's already done dropped down to nines now. So it's only par for the course, man. They coming for everything. Let's move on. Excuse me. Oh, guess what's growing? Guess what's here? Georgia now becomes the ninth U.S. state to report cases of the MP, the pox monkey. After Peach State reports 3 infections, bringing national total to 18, California reports third case as close contact of initial patient. They're saying actually, New York is the uh, ground zero or the highest case. I think they're saying New York now. Uh-oh. Look at this. Another NYC pox monkey case brings the total to 5. The World Health Organization says it might be too late to contain. So the new threat is here. The new reason for lockdown, the new reason for social distance, the new reason for, more further control is here. Let alone the DVOG 91 is still on the loose. So World Health Organization saying it might be too late to contain. It's on the loose. Scared yet? Look, most cases in America are being detected among gay and bisexual men. Didn't they say that about AIDS, HIV, before they allowed that thing to break loose? Oh, so here you go. The sodomites on the loose. Another reason why the Most High should be and our people who are into those lifestyles need to repent because the Most High is bringing plague on you too. The sodomite community amongst Israel, it's time to repent. Deny your carnal lust or whatnot, and get yourself in order. So most of the cases they say are amongst gay and bisexual men with health chiefs often linking them back to international travel, but there are growing signs the virus is spreading in the U.S. Yeah, they were saying that the cases in New York have been detected before it went nationwide. So now they're saying people is all over the place. That's just a storyline so that it can be known how fast and wide it's spreading. Oh, we didn't catch it in time. Oh, we thought it was this, but we wasn't sure. We didn't go public with it until we was confirmed. Oh, there was cases in Europe. Yeah, well, we treated somebody, but he's already gone and she's already gone. They're already all over the place. So this is why you start hearing about these cases popping up more rapidly, even though the national total is only at 18. But them numbers can get inflated, and Esau can cook the books, and before you know it, it's gonna be half the country got infections. You'll see. Look at this. Slow Biden is I meant to put this one up with the shooting scandals, right? But remember, it says that he's gonna operate by violence. The rich man and the wicked man is gonna operate through violence. Slow Biden is on here running around talking about more carnage, killing fields, right? But look at it. The Uvalde police scandal. Oh, are we gonna talk about can we talk about improper training amongst the police? Can we talk about how they handled that situation as the kids were calling 911 and the police still refused to go in? Can we talk about the Buffalo shooting when 911 was called and the 911 operator hung up and allowed our people to get killed? All them little 10 tribe kids, in there got slaughtered. because the police stood outside and waited. Some of them were in the hallways and scared to go inside. Look, students inside were calling 911 and begging for help. The officer stayed outside for almost an hour during a mass shooting. Now it's being called a police scandal. Oh, but they're not going to promote that in the public. They're not going to talk. This is from Wall Street Journal. This isn't some alternative news. This is the Wall Street Journal put this out. That this thing is being called a scandal now. But no, they're just calling it a massacre. They're calling it a reason why we need to have our guns taken from us. And you can't protect your family and call 911 if anything happens. Well, look, the students were calling 911 begging for help and nobody came. So you trying to tell me, man, when a zombie horde is running around out here starving for food, trying to break into my home because they want food and water, whatever case may be, when the civil unrest, cracks off in the streets and there's race wars and riots and everything else going on, and people are getting upset because they can't feed their families because they don't want to accept some of the things that the so-called white man's going to come bringing down the pipeline, and people start revolting and rebelling. Oh, I can't secure my family. Call 911. Look, I was a youngster, man, and I was a teenager when the 92 riots happened. I witnessed and seen the police driving past all of us that was out there wilding out in the streets, looting in the whole night. They were ignoring crimes right in front of their face. On the first thing smoking, trying to get back to the station, getting back to their homes out in the valley and everywhere else, trying to secure their households. I seen them, man. That's why they had to call in the National Guard and had to declare martial law on the streets out here because the police was not active. They was not messing around. Jakes was shooting at the damn helicopters and the whole nine. So you should know, we should know, or at least understand when it's just the family and the police is not going to be there to do anything when it just gets completely out of control, like it can in complete chaos. So look, they saying it's a scandal now, but they don't want to talk about that. I just read the report on Wednesday. The chief of police of Uvalde said he's not cooperating anymore with the investigation. He's pleading the fifth. Meanwhile, you got 21 dead people, 19 kids, and he's saying, I'm not helping with this investigation no more. My whole police unit, my whole department is under investigation and under a scandal. Where's my lawyer? Is that how we handling it now? And Slow Biden is running around here talking about it's the gun fault. Maybe it's the inadequacies that the police department had. Maybe it's actually the person with issues at home and in his head that got a hold of the gun that went out and did his thing. Come on, man. I may mention this one on Wednesday. Jamie Dimon, he's the head of J.P. Morgan, and we talking about again hell enlarging itself, man. You talking about a head economist, one of the ones that's usually scant with the scales and creating improper balances and abominable balances, man, trying to make sure that the wealth stays in the pockets of the rich white folks. Even he jumped out and said, "Hey, look, we didn't messed around too much, and things is getting ready to go bad." So start making sure that you've got some sort of preparations in order. Though the matter is how bad is it going to be? It's going to be bad. It's going to happen. Look, Jamie Dimon says, "quote Brace yourself for an economic hurricane caused by the Fed in the Ukraine war." So the category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the cat. Bottom line, hurricane is coming. He said, basically, how bad is it going to be? That's the only thing you can only be concerned about or wondering. So there are two main factors that has Diamond worried. So-called quantitative tightening, or QT, is scheduled to begin this month and will ramp up to $95 billion. Right. So this is part of him scantily tipping the scales, doing a quantitative easing, trying to manipulate the financial markets to create a balance, increasing interest rates, to try to reduce spending, right? So it says he's scheduled to begin this month and will ramp up to $95 billion a month in order to reduce bond holdings. The other large factor worrying Diamond is the Ukraine war and its impact on commodities, including food and fuel. Food and fuel. Oil could hit 150 or $175 a barrel. He said, "You'd better brace yourself." I didn't say it. The white man said it. Listen to him if you want to, or ignore him and say, "Man, he's lying. Everything is great. I just paid almost $5 for a carton of eggs. That's normal. Oh, my gas is $5 a gallon, and you're living in the Midwest where it's usually $2 and $3. Oh, that's normal. Oh, don't listen to him. He says brace yourself. You say he's crazy. Okay, you ain't listen to me the last year and a half. Okay, no problem. But our people love it when it comes out the fork tongue of the white man. If he says it, oh, now it's serious. Okay, here we go. What he said. You better brace yourself. I said y'all months back. If you can, put a little something under your pillow. Now you get paid, maybe take $20, man, stash it. Cause you never know when you need an emergency cash. You never know when you may need to utilize alternative currencies like precious metal for reselling. You sell them, try to get some money back from it. You may need to what they call it, rainy day type situations. But he said, prepare you, brace yourself. All right. Diamond told the room full of analysts and investors, JP Morgan is bracing ourselves and we're going to be very conservative with our balance sheet. So if the white man says, man, I'm scaling back on my balance sheet and how I'm spending my money and what I'm doing, what should you be doing? Thinking he's full of it? Think he don't know what he's talking about? So hello. What are we talking about? Uh My brother said the Uvalde Police Department received active shooter training 2 months before the incident. Well, yeah, isn't that interesting? You get a little heads up, huh? And then, hey, if you see, I don't know if y'all watched the boys on Amazon, but they had a whole little incident about one little scene where they talked about a school shooting and preparedness, and they said follow the law when there's an active shooter. They said lock all the doors and windows, um, and then it said get armed, arm yourself with anything around. So they show the kids grab a pole, they had the little tip on the end with the flag, and others, grab the stapler and then they had the teacher was a licensed firearm carrier. She pulls out the Glock out the desk, and then they said, and then wait. So once you wait, they said everybody took cover behind their desks. That's real active stuff. And then it just so happens, and now they pre-filmed this stuff. Then it just so happens, oh, school shooting happens. I mean, Esau, man, is so crazy, and how he, plot and plans all these things, and foretells his evils, so that you can't say, oh, I wasn't warned, I didn't know. He's gonna tell on himself, man. The man of perdition is gonna be revealed. He's going to have to reveal himself. Man, it's what you gonna do about it. What am I going to do about it? How am I going to prepare? Remember, First Peter 5:8. It said, "Be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary, the devil, walketh about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." That's one of my favorite scriptures. The only thing you can do is to stay prepared. First Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because what? Your adversary, the devil, walketh about, because your adversary, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So being conscious and aware, being vigilant, staying awake, and being on code and on focus of what's going on, because we have an adversary, and he is walking about looking to see who he can catch slipping and destroy. And he's leaving clues. You can smell his stench, but Our people walk around and act like they ish don't stink, so why should his? And they gonna get caught slipping. All right, so here we go. One of the head financiers in the world, he says, we're bracing ourselves and we're going to be very conservative with our balance sheet. And you better brace yourself, get prepared. Oh, look at this. Nationwide, gas is at $5 a gallon. Man, some of y'all in the Midwest, down south, who's kind of been spoiled with the $3 and $4. And I'm talking about within this year. Oh, get ready. It's going up to 5. Nationwide. It's going to be, that's why I say hell hath enlarged itself, man. Everybody's going to see the crime. California, forget about it. You want to see what we're facing? Look, pain at the pump. Gas costs nearly $10 a gallon at this California station. This is in Mendocino. I forgot where Mendocino is. I think that's going towards San Diego, I think. Let me double check because I will make sure I don't get caught slipping out of Mendocino. This for me too. Hold on. See, where is it at? Oh no, it's up north. Yeah, this is up north. So you see, it's San Francisco. San Francisco about a 6-hour drive from LA. So Mendocino is up here above. Oh, you talking about Humboldt? Yeah, this is up north. This is almost at the top of California. LA is way down here. So the further up north, obviously, we're seeing what they're gonna be. Can you imagine? Look, this is a screenshot I took. It's a video, but you can see the price pump. Supreme is $9.76. Plus is $9.54. Regular is $9.45. If you want to round up, that's $9.78, $9.55, and $9.46. Almost $10 in Mendocino. Each week, the gas price across the country, but especially in California, gets impossibly higher. Just before Memorial Day, the Chevron on Alameda de las Pulgas in Menlo Park hit 725. Then this week, one Chevron in LA was selling gas for more than $8. And now we spotted gasoline costs of $9.50 a gallon. Listen, I said $7 by the summertime. I was off. It's looking like it's about to be that before we really hit the summer. The summer solstice is like what, June 21st? That's when the summer, is gonna kick in. But I'm thinking, July, August. They ahead of schedule, and even worse. So these prices are well over the average price of gas in the Golden State, which last weekend surpassed $6 a gallon for the first time ever, according to AAA. This is an all-time high for the state. All-time high. Breaking it down by cities on Friday, the average price in Oakland is $6.37 a gallon, San Jose 6.38, San Francisco 6.50 a gallon. The average price in California is damn near $2 more than the average price of the rest of the country. Why is that? Why are we paying almost $2 more than everybody else? It's unbelievable. And look at this. Oil execs cash out like crazy while gas prices soaking Americans. This again goes back to him tilting the scales, him cashing out, him wickedly and abominably abusing the monetary system. They going in, cashing out, getting paid. And then they go and disappear in the wind. And then we're left holding the bag, trying to figure out how we're going to get to work, how you're going to take the kids to school, or whatever the case may be. You understand? My bad. Let me get back over here. So, gas prices have skyrocketed to record highs, forcing some families to choose between filling their tank and putting food on the table. I'm telling you, I where was I at? I think I was in the 99-cent store or somewhere. I was in the grocery store. I took a double take about certain prices like 2 or 3 times just today. Like what? Did that say that? Was that the real price? Filling and putting food on the table or gas in the tank. And you just seen uh what's his face from Tesla. Elon Musk, he's about to fire 10% of his staff because he said he foresees things getting crazy, and he said that they had to come back to work. No more working from home. No more working from home. They ain't like it, they can get fired. Hold on. See, look at this. This the richest man in the world, and he's worried about his money. Typical Esau, man. He ain't worried about the average Joe Schmo, man, that helped build up his multi-billion-dollar empire, and them getting chopped out and can't put food on their family's table. He worried about, whether or not he can continue on with the jets and his rocket launching, SpaceX and all this other madness. Look, Elon Musk reportedly wants to lay off 10% of Tesla workforce as he frets about the economy. Richest man in the world, he's worried about losing money. What the hell do you think that means for us? Let's move on. So oil execs are out here cashing out, selling off their stocks and all of that, getting paid, and gonna let oil and the gas go the hell in the handbasket. So again, you go back and go look and see what's happening in Venezuela, and then you can kind of imagine the futures for what possibly could be happening here. Okay. Uh, but reading on it says, but for the oil execs whose stock holdings have soared, these are happy days, and some of them are cashing in their shares at unusually high rates. Among four senior executives at publicly traded PBF Energy, for instance, included the chief financial officer and general counsel. None had previously sold their portions of the oil company's shares except to satisfy taxes or the cost of exercising their stock. According to public filings, in the last 3 months, they have collectively dumped more than $9 million of it. So, you want to know what the evil is? You know what they say: follow the money, right? So here they go, selling off, meaning what? That they're looking like, hey, the oil industry, the energy is about to hit rock bottom. So when Esau sells off and cashes out, that means it's about to get bad for the oil and energy, or even worse, I should say. So consider that. Look, California is rationing water amid its worst drought in 1,200 years. Again, Venezuela, they're rationing water in homes. You understand? Hot water, good luck. For finding hot water, showers, and all that. We're spoiled. But imagine it can and will go there. Just give it some time. You know. So here we are, already rationing, and we're talking 1,200 years. I mean, we're talking damn near biblical standards when it comes down to water shortages and droughts. Southern California is imposing mandatory water cutbacks as the state tries to cope with the driest conditions it's faced in recorded history. So, so much for, or be careful with, self sustainability and having your own gardens and all that other stuff. Esau's coming in, he's gonna crack down all of that. There's certain districts, man, you can't even grow your own garden in your backyard. It's supposed to be your land. You zoning issues and all this other crap. They won't even let you grow a garden in certain places in California. And it's supposed to be your house and your land, right? Oh no, the zoning, we got to make sure you can't do this, or that's going to take up too much water, can't do it. Oh, I thought we was free. No, no, no. Don't get it twisted. See, Southern California is imposing mandatory water cutbacks as the state tries to cope with the driest conditions it's faced in recorded history. Starting Wednesday, about 6 million people in parts of Los Angeles, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties are limited to watering outdoor plants once a week, an unprecedented move for the region. The Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, which supplies water to about 19 million people, declared a water shortage emergency in April and voted unanimously to curtail water use, either by restricting outdoor watering or by other means. Or by other means. Or could that mean, turning down the power that your water's coming out the faucets? Could it mean actually rationing off how long you can actually use your water? Your water is off for 4 hours out the day. Who knows what these other means could be? They start off with, oh well, once a week you can water your lawn. Meanwhile, you're paying the landscapers to come out and take care of your lawn. The lawn's all dead. You're trying to establish and build a garden because you can't afford to, continually go to the store to go buy stuff to go eat. You can't do it. You know. I mean, I seen in the video in the little documentary in Venezuela, man. McDonald's is down there, but that mug is empty because Jace can't even afford to eat there. The brother that was there, he was interviewing him. He said, "Man, yeah, McDonald's is here, but it's too expensive to eat. Big Macs is like $12 and $13. That's a month's salary for people. Who's eating that crap? How is it staying open? Is beyond me. Esau just wants to continually colonize and keep the influence of America down there. So if Esau said, "Man, I'll sustain it," they'll come eat it because they can't help it. They want a little taste of America. They want to be as close as they can to the great melting pot. They want in. So even if that means get the little small fry, treat the family. Everybody gets a little, share a small fry and a 6-piece nugget. Everybody get one nugget, share a small fry, just for a little piece of America, so we can continue dreaming, man. Maybe we'll get there one day. The dude said, man, and pretty much everybody eats at home. Nobody eats out. It's too expensive. Well, if you ain't been to the restaurants or been out to some fast food place lately, all those prices is up. How much longer you think you're gonna be able to go on your lunch break and go run over to wherever you like to go, Chick-fil-A or what's the name of them other places, man? Wendy's and uh, what's the Wing Stop and all the other man. You see if them prices is going up, man. You're gonna say, but forget that. Don't have a household of 4 or 5 or whatever. Restaurant, man, you paying a note or more. Fast food, you might as well say you're gonna pay $30, $40. Every little combo is 10 or better. You got a household of 4 or 5, you spending $50. Who's spending that? When you can put that in the gas tank and you might get half a tank, depending on what type of car you got. So what's that mean for the workers there? Bye. Oh, we're going to have to close down. We got to reduce staff. Guess who's taking your place? The robots. They're already in here learning how to flip burgers and make pizza. And the autonomous cars to deliver. You see how that works? That's where it's just going. Let's move on. Red hot coal prices threaten more increases in power bills. Oh, so there you have it. It's gonna cost more to keep them lights on. Just like we see, and like I said, in Venezuela, man, they got blackouts every day. I can't remember if it's 3 hours, 3 hours of blackout time, or you only get power 3 hours a day. One of the two. I can't remember. Let me see if I can. It might. I don't want to be wrong. Uh, yeah. See this? That was in 2016. Venezuela starts rolling blackouts up to 4 hours a day. See, rolling blackouts up to 4 hours a day are a last minute attempt to save energy until water levels stabilize at the Guri Dam, which provides the bulk of the country's electricity. That's 2016. They still going through it right now. 4 hours a day. They were on 3 hours right now. 3 hours. And here they are talking about an increase in power bills. They're talking about blackouts happening this summer and beyond. Do you understand? So if hell ain't enlarging itself, man, I don't know what to tell you. Let's move on. Look, waiter, there's a fee in my soup. Restaurant checks now come with chock full of fees for everything from kitchen appreciation to wellness. So you go into a restaurant, whatever the case may be, you notice a lot of places they already asking you, or do you want to leave a tip? And you ain't do nothing but Order a sandwich from Subway or wherever, and they're already like, "You paying with your card? Oh, you want to leave a tip? A tip for what? For taking my order and for charging my card? It's not like you delivered. You sat me down. You cleaned my table. You brought it to me. And I'm not knocking the hustle of people that work in them industries. I mean, it is what it is. But hey, everybody's struggling. Restaurants checks now come chock full of fees for everything from quote kitchen appreciation to wellness. So now your bill is going to include certain gratuities that never was there before. And that's just to try to help sustain the staff and to keep them restaurant doors open. Because remember how many restaurants closed up and got jacked up with the pandemic over the last 2 years. So they trying everything. But now you're at a point now where people can't afford to be going out to eat. That all of a sudden is going to become it's a luxury. Special occasions. Remember them old days? Oh, Fridays is McDonald's day. You a kid. We getting McDonald's on Friday. Heck yeah. Oh, that's special occasion times. That's gonna be the same way, but it might be every 3 months down the line. I guess what we saved up a little bit of money when we're gonna treat everybody to pizza tonight, whatever. It's gonna get to that point. Okay, so moving on with this warfare, uh, despite what the propaganda, the Mockingbird media has been talking about, as they say, oh, Ukraine is pounding Russian heavy, with artillery, and Zelensky says 20% of Ukraine is under Russian control. So they're making grounds, they're occupying territory. Things is moving according to plan. This is why America's scrambling, Germany's scrambling, NATO scrambling, sending jets, sending weapons, sending money, trying to prop them up and trying to say, man, fight, man, don't make us get involved because if we do, World War III is lit. Get it under control. They saying, look, man, we losing ground. It's not what they've been saying. See, that's from the president's mouth. 1/5 of Ukrainian territory is under Russian control, with Donbass, quote, almost entirely destroyed. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said while addressing Luxembourg's lawmakers on Thursday. As of today, about 20% of our territory is under the control of the occupiers, almost 125,000 square kilometers. This is much larger than the area of all the Benelux countries combined. Zelensky said to the Chamber of Deputies of Luxembourg via video link. Zelensky also said fighting continues along the front line that is stretched over, quote, more than 1,000 kilometers along the territories of Kharkiv region to Myko, Mykolaiv in the country's south. He added Ukraine's Donbass region is, quote, simply devastated, calling it, quote, once one of the most powerful industrial centers in Europe. That's gone. Where's all the media that was, talking about how great the Ukrainians are smashing the Russians and is something changed now? Interesting. Interesting. See, but this is only going to lead towards World War III because NATO's investments and America's investments in the Ukraine, they can't afford to take them losses. America just sent them $40 billion. Asked for 33 and they gave them an extra 7 on top. And they sent weapons. You think America gonna say, man, hell no. You can't come back empty handed. We invested too much in this thing. We're going to get involved. NATO, you're going to get involved. See how that works? Look, US and Germany agreed to supply advanced weapons to Ukraine. So they're already saying, give them more, send more. We can't go down thinking like everybody gonna think we took an L. So there they go. They just sent more. They sent money. Remember, Slow Biden was all the way in South Korea, and they emailed and faxed him over to the the contract and the covenant agreement to send them $40 billion. So they got the money. Now they teaming with Germany. They sending advanced weapons to Ukraine. They said they're going to send the rockets and the missiles over there, and that put Russia on edge. That's when Russia said, "Okay, you want to play like that? Well, guess what? We got these Satan II missiles, man, and we can take out America with four blows. East Coast, we got in two, no problem, because those advanced weapons and them rockets and them missiles can reach Russia." So Slow Biden and them said, "Well, we'll give you the rockets, Ukraine, just as long as you don't shoot them into Russian territory." Who's to say they're going to agree to that? I mean, what's the point in giving them these weapons if they can't even utilize them to fire back at their enemies? They can only use them to shoot them within their own country to furtherly destroy their own country and whatever, Russian weaponry and tanks and all of that. Does that make sense? We'll give you more bombs to destroy more of your country as you're fighting a war in your country, but you can't use them to destroy any parts of Russia. See, it says here at the bottom, the U.S. is trying to help Ukraine fend off the Russians without triggering a wider war in Europe. See, that's the wider war. Without having NATO have to get involved, without the U.S. having to truly get involved. The Pentagon said it received assurances that Ukraine will not fire the new rockets into Russian territory. Well, we'll see how long that lasts before some rogue Manchurian candidate Ukrainian launches one and says, "Oops, I didn't mean it." Or he's super zealous and says, "The hell with it. What are they gonna do? Court martial me, lock me up, bomb Russia." And then it's on from there. Who knows? We'll see. Keep your eyes on that. Look at it. This could be the next big war that grips the entire world. Oh, really? Which one is that? Wars and rumors of wars, huh? The ongoing war between Israel and Iran across the Middle East came out of the shadows and into the open long ago. But now, on the back of several suspected Israeli attacks inside Iran itself, the deadly contest threatens to escalate, possibly beyond the region. So now we're seeing another war on the horizon. Iran and Israel going at it. Well, what does it say? Regarding these damn heathen in our land in Isaiah 1. Isaiah 1 and let's see here. Verse 7. Your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate, overthrown by strangers. Well, isn't that the truth? As the heathen are over here fighting and going at it over our land, it's now been made desolate. Why? Because the true children of Israel are no longer there. Cities being burned with fire. You see the Palestinians and the Israelis going at it over there, throwing everything from rocks to bullets to rockets at each other. Now Iran is getting involved, right? They're devouring our land in our presence, playing games. It's okay because the land needs to be purged of them anyway. Look at Ezekiel 36 and verse 5. It says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession." Oh, the Balfour Declaration, 1948. Huh? Have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey, man. Idumea, the so-called white man, the Edomites, taking our land. And now here they are waging war with the Iranians, you know, committing themselves to assassinations. You see all of the 5 men they have assassinated so far. A couple of their generals, drone hits. I mean, this is what's going on. So there's going to be another war or escalation of war as this continues on. All right, so keep an eye on that one. Oh, follow the money again, huh? Cashing out on the vid, cashing out on the DVOC. Pfizer's jab raked in 37 billion in 2021. The rich get richer, huh? You think they concerned about how things is moving economically? Think they worried about whether or not they can fill up their Maybach or their Bentley or their Tesla? No, they ain't worried about that. $37 billion in 2021, nearly doubling the revenue of every other available drug across all markets. And you notice they still trying to get off the leftovers right now. The U.S. DVOC cases approach 100K per day, and daily deaths jumped above 600. Interesting. That's a lot of shequalium, lot of shekels. 36.8 billion they made. Figure rounded up 37 billion they made last year. All on the threat of you know where we going with this. I gotta play safe on this. So read the headlines. Uh, look what they do. This is depopulation. Most I say be fruitful and multiply and all that, right? But what do they say? Cut your number of sexual partners to help fight monkeypox. Oh, now they want to promote uh not being promiscuous. Now they don't want to promote fornication and adultery. Now they don't want to promote, you know, the lifestyle of the sodomites. Now they're saying cut down on your sexual partners to help fight the pox monkey, and urges the World Health Organization as it warns the outbreak may not be containable. Yeah, we read about that earlier. You see that? So there you have it. Uh-oh. You know our people love the tech, man. Our people love technology, right? Look at this. Uh, let's look at it. How safe is your smart device? Popular gadgets, including Amazon Echo and Google Nest, can be hacked. Oh, really? You don't say. So, Alexa, Amazon Echo, Google Nest, they're not as safe as we think, huh? They're making your home smarter or dumber. They're making your homes more accessible, or are they making it more secure? Are they making you more lazy but saying, hey, Amazon, can you turn on my lights? Turn off the heat. Can you turn on the air? Can you, now you just seeing the commercial now where they talk about Alexa starting up your car for you. I don't know if y'all seen that commercial. There's a commercial now, man. A little family. They talking about Alexa, start up the car. Alexa, do this, and it's for a particular car, but the father keeps calling the car Alexa. And they're like, no, Dad, it's a Buick. And he's like, if you keep talking, I'm going to turn this Alexa around. Just showing how they want to merge everything into one hub of tech and have everybody locked into one particular matrix. But know that every ounce of convenience that these things offer is backdoors, Trojan horses for Esau to come in and crash in and invade and steal, rob, and deceive with. Okay. So Google Nest can be hacked and used to crash websites, steal data, and snoop on homeowners, test shows. Oh, well, guess what? Notice it said what? Smart device. What is this? 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his what? Devices. You can't be ignorant of what these things can and can't do, man. Use it for what it's worth. You got to take the good with the bad. It's a double-edged sword having these devices and whatnot. I'm just talking about the phones. I'm not even talking about Alexa. I don't have that. I'm not dealing with that. I don't want no parts of that stuff. When back in the days, man, for those that's in my age range, being kids, you remember Knight Rider, the kit car used to talk to you, man, do everything. Everybody wanted the kit car. Now what? You got the kit car, and you got kit in your home, kits on your phone, kits everywhere. Now it ain't so cool. Once you see what kit can be invaded, and it's just a device that can be used. Satan being adversarial, meaning it may not be so cooperative. It may not be something that is of our an advantage for us, because it said it allows Satan to get an advantage over us. As our people, are completely locked into the tech, man, fully invested in it, can't lift our heads up for 1 minute off of the phone. You should see them old videos, man. People walking into damn fountains and walking into manholes and falling all over the place, breaking their neck and down escalators because they so locked in. You know, I still be tripping sometimes when I see people just out in the public like nobody else is around them, and they just, you know, all over the place trying to get their best pose, especially you women, trying to find your best pose, your best angle, your best deceitful, you know, curve so that you can manipulate the picture. You know, brothers out here, man. I seen a video, man, a brother posing on another J car at the gas station just for a quick little flick to throw on the gram. I mean, that's Satan getting an advantage of us, man. People, investing in this tech and thinking like that's the future, that's heaven. Meanwhile, we see what it can do and will do. Now, I mentioned this last hump day, man. I had to bring out the article. Canadian province will decriminalize cocaine and MDMA for 3 years to free up police and amid an overdose crisis. So they already just put the freeze on handguns, sales, transfers, and shipments, and saying you can't have no guns, but you can buy coke and other hard drugs in Canada. You can get high, you can get zombified, you can get toe up, you can ruin your life, you can mess around and OD and kill yourself, but you can't be armed. Does that make sense? And it ain't no different than here. Oregon got drug safe zones. Rhode Island got drug safe zones. Safe places for you to shoot up your heroin, snort your coke, shoot up the crack. I mean, shoot up the uh, uh smoke the pipe, get high on the crack, shoot up the heroin, pop the pills, man. You can lay out safe. They make sure you got safe amounts of fentanyl and everything else, man. They just let you zone out and then send you on your way. We everybody seen the drug kits that Slow Biden was giving out. He got money to give. He had money to create a budget to give out drug kits for dope fiends, but he can't figure out how to get the gas down. You tell me, is he trying to destroy or is he trying to save? He's a white man. What you think? So Canada, no different. You can go up there. They said for 3 years they decriminalizing cocaine and MDMA. I'm not exactly sure what that is. They said there was some other hard drugs. Uh, and it says the move comes just one day after Trudeau ban on handgun sales was proposed. So notice how right after these meetings, the Davos meeting, the Bilderberg meetings, all these new agendas start popping out. Man, get the guns, let them get high. Let's manipulate the currency. Didn't they say they was gonna do that? Disruption of the global financial system. How they gonna destroy and disrupt? Aren't we in a worse crisis now than ever? And it's just beginning. So there we go. Following the rise of opioid deaths since the pandemic, Canada has moved to temporarily decriminalize small-scale possession of certain illicit drugs in British Columbia. Oh, isn't that nice? I mean, how many of you fiends is running up there now? I'm going to Canada. I'm moving to Canada so I can get high for free. Come on, get it together. And look at this dope fiend. Slow Biden can't even keep his own house in order, man. He's trying to tell you what to do. Here's his son, Hunter Biden. That laptop whole scandal he got going on is going wild right now. But here goes his ex-wife, his baby moms. Do you know that this dude? Uh, we're just gonna read it. Unbelievable, man. This is from the loins of your president. Hunter Biden's ex-wife reveals how she threw him out after finding a crack pipe. Her daughter uncovered his affair with Bo's widow, Hallie. You know who Bo is? That's his brother. Well, I gotta be honest. Now, in the sense of the law, in Deuteronomy 25, it tells you that if a man's brother dies and doesn't have seed, the brother's duty to his wife is to raise up seed. So I'm not going to go against the law, but from my understanding, I believe Bo had kids. So his brother, as soon as he dies, Slow Biden's son Hunter goes and lays with his brother's widow. So he's on crack, lusting after his brother's wife. The affair. I mean, the attraction didn't just happen after his brother died. He's probably eyeing his brother's wife all this time. Once he's out the way, oh, finally, I can go get her. Crackpipe daughter uncovered his affair with Bo's wife, widow Hallie, and how he admitted to cheating with prostitutes in a bombshell new book. Kathleen Buell, the ex-wife of Hunter Biden, reveals a number of new details about her marriage in the forthcoming book, If We Break, a memoir of marriage, addiction, and healing. Buell wrote that in the summer of 2015, she finally kicked Biden out of the house after finding the crack pipe in their ashtray. Yeah, we know he's on dope. He's a crack fiend. Trump called out Slow Biden on that. I played that video for y'all. They was arguing about that. So, crack fiend. This was after he already admitted to cheating on her with prostitutes when he traveled to work abroad. She also revealed how daughter Finnegan found out about her father's affair with Beau Biden's widow, Hallie, and let her know about it. In an interview with People, Buell recognized that she had lost herself in her marriage with the now president's son. My greatest shame was feeling like my identity was not my own. It was in writing this book that I realized probably the heaviest weight was that I first had to forgive myself for not believing in myself, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, man, this dude is wicked as hell. He still got to answer for all the multi millions of dollars that he made in the Ukraine, China, and in Russia, and filtered money off to his pops. And one of the brothers, man, sent me a picture of what appears to be Slow Biden, damn near naked, with some look like a Asian prostitute that they supposedly found on the laptop. I don't know if it's him or not. I don't know if it's true. So YouTube, don't try to come in here and say I said that. I don't know. It's floating around though. Look at this. What's she doing in the back? Here you go. These ain't doctor photos. This is from his laptop. He got two crackhead in the background. She firing up. He's on the laptop looking. This how we hang out. Hunter Biden is the proverbial nigga or wigger. He carry on worse than a damn uh nigga from the streets. Look, Hunter Biden starred in his own amateur porn vids on Pornhub and sent the link to Dad on his phone. So he's recording amateur whatever and sending the links to his pops so his pops can look ancestrally at his son with prostitutes. This is who's running the show right now. Who's out here talking about give me the guns. We're not forgiving your student loans after I said I would. If you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. Remember all this stuff he talking about? Listen. Like laptop search history reveals an obsession with 18-year-olds, lonely widow, and MILF crack cocaine. I gotta move on from this. I gotta move on from this. But you see what Slow Biden Loins produces. Here, and he's still in the public eye, still making money, still locking out business deals. Remember, I just covered a story a few weeks ago about him having some high paid entertainment lawyer paying all of his attorney fees for him because they were having relations. Remember that? Oh yeah, this dude is all over the place. This is Slow Biden's proud son. That he sat right there in that little debate with Trump, and Trump was calling out his son for being a crackhead and all this other stuff, and he was like, my son, I'm proud of my son Hunter. Like many of us, and like many of you at home, you've had a relative who struggled with with abuse, and he's overcame that, and no, he said he's overtaken that. He don't even know what he's saying. He basically said he's been overtaken by the dope. But this is him, man. This is what they was running from on that laptop. Now it's open. They showing all kind of madness, man. And he's sending links of himself to his dad. Good lord. Let me move on. Look, Biden sees an exodus of black staffers and some frustration among those who remain. Can hello? It took him a year and a half to sip the Kool Aid, or to recognize, man, the Kool Aid was poison. They all fell for the bait. If you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. Oh, I've got a good relationship with the black church. I was raised in a black church. Remember he said that? How much he loves these so-called black people. And he said poor people are just as smart as white people. Who's he talking about? Poor people, just as smart as white people. And he slipped up and acknowledged that there is a wealth gap. You know, basically saying you niggas and spicks, you can be just as smart as me and us. That ain't the case. So now, not only did we see an exodus of Kamala Harris's staff, now slow Biden is seeing, oh, Negroes is waking up and saying we're out of here. That this dude has no black agenda. This dude just utilized us for race politics. Got us up in here thinking we was gonna change some things and got some appointments and duties, and we ain't got none. Oh, but we do see the LGBTQ HIV agenda getting pushed. We do see them getting promoted and exalted, don't we? See, when's our people gonna wake up and realize, man, they people ain't got nothing for you. As they always say, man, the politics is a pile of tricks. Look at it. At least 21 black staffers have left the White House since late last year or are planning to leave soon. Some of those who remain say it's no wonder why. They describe a work environment with little support from their superiors and fewer chances for promotion. The departures have been so pronounced that, according to one current and one former White House official, some black aides have adopted the term "blacksit." Oh, and Slow Biden came out and said, "Oh no, they're just overwhelmed and they weren't prepared to deal with some of these political matters head on. So they're really just leaving because they need a break." That's what he's saying. He's going to define what the black struggle is. He's going to define and say, "No, no, that's fake news. The niggas ain't, and they're not satisfied. They just can't handle the whip, so they need a break." And they're saying there's nothing happening for us. We're not getting promoted. Nobody's listening to us. We're not getting any support. There's no agenda for us to push. I thought we was gonna have a voice in here. We don't. And then guess what he does? Slow Biden goes and pulls in good old Moab because they know how to bow down to white zaddy. So you Negroes, man, Slow Biden is done with you. Slow Biden is done with you. I bet you them black staffers was probably saying, "Hey, maybe yeah, like I said, man, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, man." They probably saying, "Man, but Trump might as well be in here." As bad as Slow Biden is treating us. The devil you know is better than the devil you don't, man. Key word is both of them devils. The only difference is Trump came out and said, "Hey, I'm the I'm the chosen one." Remember that? So look at this. K-pop supergroup BTS visits the White House. Well, what did they go there for? I don't. They talking about these Grammy nominated Moabites, man. Who knows what these dudes are, man? They all look like clones. Korean super pop group BTS appeared at the White House press briefing on Tuesday and will meet with the president. Slow Biden as part of a visit aimed at discussing Asian inclusion and representation and addressing anti-Asian hate crimes and disinformation. Can we address the anti-black? hate crimes that's been happening for the last 400 plus years. Can we address that? Or he thinks because he signed the Anti-Lynching Bill Act a couple months ago that that was supposed to be a strike on a chalkboard, one for the black folks. No. So as you see the exodus or the black of the black staff at the White House, as he starts seeing, black folks are starting to turn their back on him, as his approval ratings are dropping. Guess who he starts exalting? Oh well, let's bring in it's again race politics, man. Let's bring in the Moabites, man. Let's bring in the Gooks. Let's talk about them and getting them more inclusion and representation. Let's talk about anti-Asian hate crimes. Let's get one of the biggest pop groups, man. Again, using pop culture, man, Twitter and utilizing what's the name? Snapchat and what's the other one that they got? Um TikTok. TikTok, just to attract people and get attention, man. So these dudes now all of a sudden, a pop group out of Korea are supposed to talk about anti-Asian hate happening in America. Are they in America? Do they live here? Or they live in Korea? I mean, give me a break, man. This is more deception from the damn devil, man. This is just replacement racial politics. The niggas is having an exodus. They leaving. They saying the hell with this, man. The Democrats are full of crap. White man says, "Well, bring in the next ones we can utilize." So while many of you know the BTS are Grammy-nominated international icons, they also play an important role as youth ambassadors promoting a message of respect and positivity. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said, "Get," and that's a damn dyke, man. It took the Edomite redhead's place as the spokesperson for the White House. Each member of the boy band, these dudes can't even be men. They gotta be boy bands, man. That shows you Esau's obsession with pedophilia. These dudes is all grown men. They a boy band. Spoke at the podium, most in Korean. They ain't even speaking English. And they're gonna talk about what's happening over disinformation and anti-hate crimes and representation and inclusion in Korean to an English speaking audience. Yeah. If you don't if our people don't see the deception and the trickery, man, and the foolishness, I don't know what to tell you. Reading on it says each member of the boy band spoke at the podium, most in Korean. Following Jean Pierre's introduction, RM, the group's leader and only member of the band fluent in English, began by thanking Jean Pierre for her kind words and introducing the group. Get out of here. And notice all of these damn, bleach skinned, turned out Koreans, closest thing they can to try to look white. You need the white Koreans over there. Unbelievable. I know y'all heard about this. This is another shooting. Damn near every week I got to pull out one. Community demands answers after Kansas City police shoot pregnant black woman. Manath, I know you out there in Kansas City, man. What's the temperature like out there? Because I can't defend or talk about the sister. You know, she's a nigga out there acting a damn fool, trying to carjack. I seen pictures. She had a strap on her, all that other stuff. So she was out there wilding. She ran from the police. Uh, she got hit up. They did shoot her. She said she was pregnant. Of recent, the preacher or the reverend or whoever is coming out speaking for the family. He says that she wasn't pregnant. She's not pregnant. She just said that. So just being accurate with what the news is saying. She, according to the reverend, who's a spokesperson and he's leading the protest, she's not pregnant. She just said that. She was in the midst of doing some dirt, but she was unarmed. I think she dropped the gun that she had, got on the ground, man. They shot her up. She is alive. But we see not are women getting tracked down too. So the answer is always does the punishment fit the crime? Does the punishment fit the crime? You understand? What I missing in the chat? Let me double check on here. Oh, you said MDMA is ecstasy. Okay, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Um, yeah. Well, I guess you can go. Yeah, but Bo Biden would love it up there in Canada. I mean, not Bo Biden, Hunter Biden. He love it up there. He can go get high, smoke crack, man, do what he want to do. Nobody's tripping off. All right, let me get back over here. I just want to make sure we good. Ain't no bots jumping up in here. So y'all seen this, man? Community demands answers that the Kansas City police shoot a quote pregnant black woman. An eyewitness says Leona Hale was pregnant and unarmed when police shot her, but investigators say just the opposite. Of course they will. So like I said, I'm not gonna stand here and defend her folly because I believe she was doing some dirt, and I seen some pictures and a video where she had a strap on her or had it in her hand at least. But once she ditched it, they rushed her to the ground and got her, and then proceeded to shoot the sister. Look at it. Leona Hale, 26, is in stable condition after being shot by Kansas City police on Friday. An eyewitness identified as Shadanja claims Hale was trying to flee the scene in the parking lot of a Family Dollar store on Friday night. The Kansas City Star reported, according to Newsweek, Hale had her hands up moments before officers opened fire. The shooting occurred after the Missouri State Highway Patrol tracked down a vehicle matching the description of a stolen car inside a Family Dollar parking lot. When authorities tried to arrest the man and the woman inside the car, the man jumped the fence and ran as three officers chased him. Shadanja says Hale exited the car with her hands up when cops ordered Hale on the ground. She told them that she couldn't because she was pregnant. Uh, so we know the maliciousness that the so-called white man has for us and has committed against us. Um, we know that in Lamentations, uh, chapter 4, we see here 4 and 18, it says, they hunt our steps, that we cannot go on our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. We're constantly being hunted down, being victimized, being mistreated, being victimized by the police, being set up. There's a brother in rapper, matter of fact, I think he's in DC. He just won a $300,000 settlement for drugs being planted on him. Awarded. Good Lord, spell Iquar. Let me see if that's right. Yeah, I mean, good Lord, look at the name. Young Moose. Here he goes. Yeah, look like does this look like this Negro gonna be smart with his 300,000? But I mean, good for him, man. Just be wise with your money, Young Moose. He gonna blow it though. Anyway, a Baltimore rapper Young Moose is in line for a six-figure payday after suing a disgraced police officer who allegedly planted drugs on him. So again, this is only par for the course, man, of what's going on. There's a cop right there. Settlement possible with Young Moose. They talking about he's gonna cough up 300K to settle a lawsuit for planting drugs on him. So we know that they're gonna do dirt. We know that they kill us and innocently murder us in these streets. Man, they try to execute the sister. She's still alive. Excessive force. That's beyond even the words. Okay. So whether or not she was doing the dirt, when she finally was surrendered, she was armed. Wasn't armed at all. The policeman just be wanting to take it out on Jake's man just for making him run. I mean, what you doing all that training for? What you going through all of the basic training and exercise and all the other stuff for, man? Why do you even prepare for them situations? And then when you get put into them situations, you mad and want to take it out on the Jake for trying to run. That's supposed to be part of your training. What are you making me run for? I can say that as a youth and in one of my instances of my former criminal activities in the store boosting some stuff and Made it out the store. Undercover cop pops up, and he talking about, hey, let me check your pocket. Let me check what you got. Da da da. Your backpack. I'm like, nah, you ain't checking nothing. He's plain clothes, so I don't know who he is. White man. He tried to grab me, slap his arm up off of me. I take off. I'm in the wind. He falls on the ground. In the meanwhile, long story short, I end up getting caught, and he fell, ripped his jeans, had a little scratch on his knee, and he's crying and talking about, you're gonna pay for these jeans too, and if I'm injured, you're gonna pay for that, making me run, and da 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 da. Da. And I'm like, man, you lazy bastard. You young, you thinking, man, please. It's cat and mouse, man. You catch me, cool. You don't, hey, charge it to the game, man. That's what you training for. But see these cops running around here, man, because they out of shape. They donut, bellies is filled to the rim. And then when the Jake take off on them, they want to shoot and kill you and beat the hell out of you just for making them run and tiring them out. That's just the frustration that they got. So like I said, I got my own testimony of how they how frustrated they get if they got to chase. Fortunately for me, it didn't involve no beatings. But he damn sure was like, man, if I hurt my knee, I'm adding that to the case, and my jeans is ripped. I'm like, "Nigga, get the hell out of here. That ain't got nothing to do with me, man. You fell and you bit it. That's on you." But anyway, let me move on. But we see here, man. So just being accurate with the report. Matter of fact, because I know that's been floating around social media, man, especially amongst our community. It's important that brothers be and sisters be accurate with your information because it's very easy for that to be looked at as disinformation. They double back and flag your channel or somebody reported and say that ain't true. Um, uh, okay, so let's see here. This is updated. This is yesterday. Woman shot by KC police, not pregnant. Local reverend says contradicting witness statement. So, that was the woman that was filming that just kept repeating herself. Oh my God, they shot her, y'all. They shot her. They shot her. And that was just becoming unbearable for me to even watch. Uh, so let me just veering off the beaten path a little bit. Uh, we see here it says here she is not in fact pregnant. Reverend Timothy Hayes, pastor of the 24-hour faith training center in Kansas City, said Thursday. Uh, so he's, the voice box that they, are using for this protest and for the investigation. Uh, where is he at? I wanted to see if I can. Where it said that he was the. Well, I don't see it here, but it might have been another article I was looking at. But he's one of the ones that's out there, asking for answers. But he did put it out there publicly. She wasn't pregnant, but it doesn't even matter, man. They still shot that woman. It'd have just been even worse if she was pregnant. All right, so let's move on. Biden likely to visit Saudi Arabia as U.S. gasoline prices spiral. So slow Biden gonna go grovel over there to Ishmael, man. The Ishmael don't want nothing to do with them. Remember last year, that some months back, he was trying to call. They wouldn't even pick up the phone. They were dodging his calls, man, blocking him. So now he wants to go over there and slither over there to go beg. After then sanctioned them out and tripped on Saudi Arabia. Now they gotta go over there and gotta go beg Ishmael for some help on that gas, man. They just hijacked and swindled up that oil tanker that had Iranian oil over there. They swiped that up, stole that, pirated that earlier this week. Now they're gonna go over there, man, try to swindle and make a false promise and covenant with Ishmael, thinking they're gonna help him out. Here the sodomites is on full scale waging war, man, on the children, man. Look at this broad. New documentary shows pediatrician saying prepubescent kids are ready for trans hormone therapy. Pre-puberty. I'm gonna repeat that. This is a pediatrician. She's a quote unquote doctor for kids, and she's giving the okay to say kids can go on trans hormone therapy prior to even being hitting puberty. Start them on therapy and hormone therapy, man, changing up their biology, man, going against the laws of God. She's trying to endorse children to go on hormone therapy, man. Trans hormone therapy whenever they ask for it, and claiming you can quote pause hormones like music. See how they already know how they can manipulate the hormones? They already have the sign, they already have the tech, they got the biological weaponry, they got it all, man. To get the babies not only in the womb and post birth, they got it all there. And it's chemically induced. They know what they're doing, man. And it can happen so early that they got the people who's been victimized from this stuff or who got seduced by these things saying, "Oh, I was born this way." For as long as I can remember. I was 4 or 5 when I start feeling this. You understand? When they start doing those type of things and not realizing, man, they've been, hormones and been manipulated. And here goes a pediatrician, somebody who, mom and dad is trusting with the health of their children, making backdoor understanding and agreement saying, oh, yeah, we can slide him or her on these trans hormone therapies. Yeah, so she's only 4, no problem. We can, pause the hormones. We can get ready whenever they ask for it. Unbelievable. So the agenda is real. You see it. Look at this. Long Island, New York lacrosse player 19 drops dead while studying at University of Massachusetts Amherst. This is they don't know why he died unexpectedly. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if he took that long poke in the arm. Many of y'all seen the videos, man. Them athletes all dropping dead. The soccer players, the basketball players, football players. There's a big whole thing of them dropping blood clots, heart issues, and all kind of matter. Just so happens he's an athlete, lacrosse player, and he didn't drop dead mysteriously. Who knows why? I just thought that was interesting. What do y'all think? Oh, look at this. I'm not. I'm just gonna have y'all read it because you know how this could go. Remember how we do the bouncing ball, and you can draw your own conclusions, huh? Mm. 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 Wow, you don't say. Really? Oh, I'm having a conversation with myself. Yeah. Look at this. I'm gonna stop there. If that's annoying, put a 7 in the chat. Let me know. But I have to be wise. I have to do this. I don't know any other way, man, to avoid the folly with with this whole vid thing, man. The divide. Let me get an update from my sister. You out there? Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it funky. Now, now you out there? Okay. I got to keep it 100. My old girl was out of pocket. I'm not gonna defend her folly. But here, my sister's out there. He said, this is just maddening for us. We out here ready to tear up the city about her, and she out here thugging. She had a gun out and tried to run. All praise the Most High. Con, that's my feeling. Does the punishment fit the crime, man? The Most High spared her. You understand what I'm saying? She was out there doing some dirt. She got caught slipping. She tried to, she tried to break out. She didn't have to, when they hit her up, I don't think she had the gun on her. She had her hands up, but the Most High spared her. But maybe it might awaken her, man. Maybe somebody might touch her when she locked up, but they damn sure gonna lock her ass up. Once she heal up. But I know brothers and sisters out there is out there, you know, feeling it. All right, so yeah, y'all, kind of you know that's what that is. But you see that you see what they talking about though. But see, I can't even say what it just said because they're gonna say, "Oh, that's disinformation." Don't say that. I can't even read what the statistics and the new data is showing. Oh, okay. But we see what it said. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's move on. Oh, look at this. US FDA flags risk of heart inflammation after the Nova from the DVOC. Another one. Didn't they just do Johnson and Johnson? Didn't they flag that and say, hold on, that's causing blood clots? Oh, here's another thing that's causing more problems. Mm. Oh, that's disinformation. Oh, you can't say that. Oh, business. This is Reuters. This is not me. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Woo! Okay, okay. You read it. You heard it. Let's move on. Look what's keeping him up at night. But our people's, gas prices, food shortages, inflation, low wages. That's what's keeping us up at night. Look at this damn goofy heathen. He what keeps him up at night? It keeps me awake at night. White House DVOC chief issues dire warnings for the winter if Congress does not approve more funding for test treatments and jabs. Deaths from the virus remain low, and poll finds Americans are not concerned about it. See, the hype is worn off. They trying to re-amp up the hype again. They want people scared again. They want people locked down again. They want people begging for the white knight in shining armor to throw on his cape man to save us. Now they saying, "Man, well, the people ain't fearing it no more. The people ain't worried about it no more. Maybe because they seeing this. Maybe because they seeing this. Oh, okay. Maybe because heads of insurance companies have found a 40% increase in death rates that aren't attributed to the DVOC 91. Other things have been putting them to death. Yeah, the overdoses. Yeah, the suicides. Oh, but you guess what? Those things I don't believe are covered by most insurance claims, health insurance claims. So it has to be some other medical issues that's happening. You figure out where I'm going with that. Mm. Oh, just in case they say, oh, where you heard that? You lying? Okay. Uh oh, hold on. Look at this. Oh, just in case. Life insurance companies report a sudden rise in non-DVOC related deaths. Okay. According to a report Wednesday in the Wall Street Journal. Oh, the don't shoot the messenger. Oh, the messengers of the covenant. Is it? Did we make this up? No. Wall Street Journal. U.S. life insurance companies saw nearly a 40% rise in death benefits claims in the third quarter of 2021 compared to a pre-pandemic baseline, the largest such increase so far in the DVOC pandemic. Oh, so non-DVOC related. So what are they dying from? Hmm? What happened? Oh, I want to speculate. You can think about it for yourself. Okay. Look what's keeping him up at night. Give me a break, man. Oh, remember I said welcome back? Remember, look, he says get prepared by the winter. Here in LA, guess what might be coming back as part of uh the revisiting of the pandemic. Here we go. Indoor mask mandate in Los Angeles will return this month if the DVOC hospitalization increases continue apace. So, brothers and sisters in LA, just start going buy your mask now. Get back for training again. Throw back on your muzzles. You understand? Because it's going there. No surprises there. We've been talking about this for the longest. They gonna bring it all back again. All right. I'm gonna leave that there. More than half the Republicans say the U.S. seems headed towards another civil war in the near future. New poll shows. So the Republicans is talking about a civil war coming. The Democrats are saying, let's get the guns before it goes down." I mean, hell hath enlarged itself, man. So expect more violence, more upheavals, more uproars of the people, man. More tumults, more destruction, death, turmoil. I mean, it's all going down, man. Coming straight out the mouth of the devil. They talking about civil war. Well, guess who's some of these right wing, racist Republicans are the ones out here leading the charge, winding up their operatives, causing civil wars, and the Democrats is out here saying yes because what? They're both two wings on the same bird, playing the same end game. Let the white man maintain control of the earth. We all want a new world order. We all got positions or promised positions of power within there. And we know that the niggas in the spigs can't come along because they are the ones who actually are the rightful inheritors of the earth. And we got to slow down anything that brings them closer to that goal. So here they go. They're talking about civil war happening. Look how delusional this devil is, man. Slow Biden says Americans are more financially comfortable since he took office. This is remember we talked about in Micah, the pomp of the white man. The pompous nature, man. This dude, prideful as hell. He says, man, everybody's more financially comfortable since he took office, and the economy will grow faster than China this year as he doubles down on lowering gas and food prices and utility bills after positive jobs report. Listen, you creating jobs, low wage jobs, while the increases of prices are going up for living. How's that helping anybody, man? When everybody damn near is having to work either two jobs, you have to have a two-income household in California. That's just the facts. If not, people is in there roommating and shacking up together, splitting the cost of living. And I'm sure that's happening in other places. New York, Miami, all over the place. Right? Here they are talking. Here he is patting himself on the back, talking about everybody's balling since I've been in office. And I'm not even gonna go there. He must be sharing that pipe with his son. They must be both, shooting up in the corner, man. They're firing up that pipe, getting loaded. Cause this dude is completely gone. He don't know what's going on. And got the prideful arrogancy to say, man, everything's been great since he's been in. We're at war, empty shelves, inflation, gas is up, economy. Yeah, you hiring people for low wage jobs that can't even afford to survive or sustain themselves on. And he says, man, everything is good. Who can complain? He said he's going to vow to lower prices of gas and food. Didn't he do that a few months ago? How did that work out? It's even higher now. We see none of the above, man. This dude is always lying. Why? Because guess what? November, what is it? The primary is coming up. He's got to make some empty promises, man, hoping to keep some political power in that office, man. Trying to keep them some power in the house. So he did make good on relieving student loan debt, but only for people who went to some Corinthian college that's no longer even around anymore. And it was only good for people that went to school up until I think 2010. I mean, this dude is a damn devil, man. Let me get him out of here. Oh, Eric, Eric Adams, the mayor of New York. I'm sure he's really hurt that the LGBTQ HIV groups aren't allowing him in to their Pride Month because he didn't hire two gay pastors. I mean, this is ridiculous. We will not celebrate Pride with him. LGBTQ groups, but like it's a privilege. Here they are, having their whole month. Mind you, we know that this month is supposedly their Pride Month, which is longer than so-called Black History Month, which they also have to compromise Juneteenth with them this month. I mean, how many more slaps in the face do the Negroes need? And here they are shaming this dude's got his own problems. I'm not in support of him, but I'll stand behind him if they ride on him saying, well, you can't come celebrate us with us because you won't hire gay pastors. He should be commended for that. What are you talking about? LGBT groups boycott Mayor Eric Adams' New York City Pride Month event at Gracie Mansion. Yeah, well, I gotta slap him down too, just for still allowing a damn parade. But either way, they tell him you can have it. You're opening up the city for us to have this little Pride Month, but you can't come. It's disgusting, man. Good lord. All right, so they're telling him he can't come because over allegedly anti-gay hires of Christian pastors for senior roles. First of all, man, what's the damn mayor got anything to do with what's going on in the church? But anyway, pat him on the back for not getting involved in the sodomite, agendas and trying to promote sodomite preachers in the damn church. But then they still got to slap him with the other hand just for still allowing the damn Pride Month parades to happen in New York. So much for his loyalty with that community, as they telling them you can't come. Get out of here. Anyway, all right, y'all. Been a long night. Long night. Good night. Hopefully everybody's well, man. I see some of y'all still stuck in, man. All praises to the Most High White House side, man. What we looking at? What I'm missing here? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm trying. I'm trying to tiptoe the lines, man. I'm trying to keep it understood without explaining. You know what I mean? As they say, what's understood don't need to be explained. So maybe that's the approach I'm about to take with dealing with some of these topics because you know how they do. They channel as it is. They're always trying to listen in, look, watch, and what they say. What do you say? Uh, but it is what it is. But this is gonna conclude, man. Episode 115. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. While you have a shot, man. Y'all all good? Y'all all good? Oop, oops, my bad. All right. Some of y'all that ride with me, man. It's almost what? Almost 2 o'clock in the morning for some of y'all. All praise. The rest of y'all that's been riding up, staying up. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. While you have a shot. Uh, Hopefully, everybody enjoys their Shabbat and their Sabbath tomorrow. And, as we always say, man, stay focused, stay locked into the Spirit. Always fear the Most High and keep the commandments. And lastly, don't shoot your messenger. Y'all be well, man. Shalom. See y'all tomorrow, most high willing. We'll be on our closing Sabbath class at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I know many of y'all, some of y'all are in the Midwest, East Coast. The Sabbath may be closing in on y'all, but if you still got some daylight left, man, come holler at your brothers. All right, all right. So other than that, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all have a good night. Be blessed, man. Yashar, I appreciate you, my brother. Shalom, all right. All right, shalom, family. I'm out of here.